Ooh.
Welcome to Armchair Expert. I'm Dak Shepard. I just took a very deep medicinal cleansing breath.
It's very guttural sounding.
It was. I got down to my cockles and my coccyx, and I just cleansed. And go ahead, if you're in your car or you're on a treadmill, take a nice deep breath, because this is going to be an enjoyable ride.
A doozy.
A doozer. But before we tell you about our guests, I just want to, for a second, just say how much fun we had in Texas.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
it was so special.
It was really special. Austin and Dallas, they were so fun. The crowds were so fun. It was so, I don't know, humbling to see all the armchairs gathered, and they're all nice people.
Not one of them is mean.
No one threw a tomato at me or anything like that.
Nope.
They went bonkers when Monica came out. It was so exciting.
And you.
Well, whatever. They had to do that.
No.
And then a guy had a sign that was in love with Monica,
boy.
and he was a babe. He was like a 6'4" babe.
He was a babe.
He was a babe, and he took a jab at me, which was a very alpha move. So I really appreciated that.
You really respected him for that.
I did, because the sign said, "I love Monica the way Dax loves bragging about having an anthropology degree." I added the word bragging, but that was the gist of what he said.
It was, I love Monica as much as Dax liked talking about his anthropology degree.
Yeah, so smooth move, X-Lax.
It was good.
Really nice, yeah. And then he was really cute. And then when we talked to him after the show, he got even cuter for me.
Yeah, he was really cute.
He was a babe.
Sweet.
Little young for you is a little bit of a hurdle.
So he's a few years my junior.
A few years your junior. But you know what? If you were a man, you wouldn't think twice.
That's true.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know if that's advisable. Anyways. Oh, we have we sold out our September 22nd show in Brooklyn, but we've added a show and there are some seats left. So if you want to rally and party with other armchairies, go to our website, armchairexpertpod.com, and there's a link there to go get tickets. We would love to see you. And if you're in love with Monica, bring a fucking sign and let her know.
You don't have to, you guys.
For me, not for her. I enjoy seeing those signs so much. Our guest today is so talented. He's one of my, definitely top 5 comedians ever. He's so unique, right?
So unique. He has a rare comedic sense.
Yes.
Sensibility.
And I would label that shittiness. And we're going to talk about that with him. And he gave a really profound explanation of how it gets pulled off. It was fascinating.
Yeah.
He's also a good pal. He also directs one of my very favorite shows, Ozark, which comes out season 2, August 31st on Netflix. Jason fucking Bateman. Enjoy.
We get support from Quince.
Have you been wearing the Quince linen shirts?
Yeah, I've been wearing them a suspicious amount. Yeah, European linen ones, they're $34, which is genuinely insane for how nice they are.
It doesn't even make sense.
Well, here's the deal. They work directly with the factories, cut out all the middlemen, so you're paying for the actual quality and not some brand's marketing budget. Everything's 50 to 80% less than comparable stuff. I love it because it's all very classic and traditional, and I know I'm going to be able to keep it for a very long time, and the quality's off the charts.
That's true. The style is very consistent. Whatever you get there, you walk down the street, you're going to look good. They have these lightweight cotton sweaters, which I love for when it cools down at night. It's nice drape around your shoulders in the summer and then throw it on when it gets a little cool. And it's not just clothes. They do home stuff, ding, 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 travel stuff, everyday essentials. It's all the same model, quality without the markup.
Make your summer wardrobe easier. Go to quince.com/Dax for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/Dax for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Dax. This episode is supported by Helix. All right, let's talk about something we both really care deeply about: sleep.
It's the most important thing. I've had my Helix mattress for years now, and I genuinely think it's one of the best investments you can make for your home. Mine still feels just like it did when I first got it.
Well, that's the thing. It's not one of those mattresses that caves in after 6 months. These things are built to last. And you know, I'm a side sleeper. I ordered a side sleeper and I get hot, so I have cooling. And I can't tell you how much more comfortable it is to be in there not sweating and tossing and turning.
Cooling is really important. I've read that you're supposed to sleep a little bit cold.
Mm-hmm.
So I also have cooling. And they have over 20 models. So it's not a one-size-fits-all situation. You just go take their quiz and they match you to what actually works for your body.
Plus, they've got cooling upgrades, which heading into summer, non-negotiable.
Truly.
Go to helixsleep.com/armchair for 20% off. That's helixsleep.com/armchair for 20% off. Make sure you enter our show name after checkout so they know we sent you. helixsleep.com/armchair.
He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert.
I love how you are literally armchair.
That's right. Well, hi, Jason Bateman. Welcome to Armchair Expert.
Hi. Are we rolling, Jimmy?
We all. That's an accent I can't do.
You can't do.
The
Everybody
problem
can do
is I
British.
could do a few different accents that are from disenfranchised non-white members of our community. And Monica has been kind enough to point out that I'm not allowed to do that anymore, which I now don't. But it just blows for me because I can't do most of the white accents, like the English, the
Wait, what
Scottish,
are you not
the
allowed to
Irish.
do? Stuff that would be insensitive?
South Korean.
You know, they sound like
Indian.
cartoon characters.
Well, although
of those.
the English ones also sound cartoon charactery.
guess.
That's kind of why
Right,
you
but
do
not quite as
racist.
racist and what's the term I'm looking for? Where it's overly caricatured. Anyway, it'll come to me.
You have the you really do have incredible diction.
Eyes? Oh,
Diction.
Do I
word
really?
recall. You're very well spoken. I was watching an interview of with you the other day. You were on some panel. There were a bunch of hot shots. I don't know. You were being celebrated for something, as you would hope. And like
Hot
you were,
shots.
you were kind of like you weren't being asked any questions.
stereotypical.
Oh,
See, they'll come back.
Sure.
It is-
Sure. We're going to need a lot of editing in this episode. We're just going to keep sliding everything you say back 300 frames.
Yep. I'm not young anymore.
But you listen. I was watching this, and it's useless to even bring it up because I can't remember. But it was it legit was some hot shots. Like I don't know if you remember being on a panel recently where it was like other hot shots, and they were getting a lot of questions. And I kept thinking because we're friends, like, boy, is he bailed out mentally? Like, is he now thinking like, God, on my way home, I gotta pick up.
Because I wasn't talking.
You weren't talking, and then out of nowhere, they racked to you, and you were on, and you just exploded out of the gates with a very eloquent statement, and I just was blown away because in my mind I was like, oh, he's got to be completely checked out right now
He hit
and
fuck it.
relaxing.
Yeah.
But no, you had the afterburners were just winding up.
Sometimes I back into something that makes half sense. I tell you, it comes from having watched a lot of MSNBC. There's some smart folks on there.
But you've also been getting interviewed at this point for 30 years, more. You're banging on. I don't want to expose your age, but
I'll be 50 in January.
Right, you're knocking right.
So
on it.
it'll be. I'm coming up on 40 years.
40 years of being interviewed. So that's helpful,
It is.
right? If you can't pick up
Yeah.
the cues of an interview in 40 years, you've chosen the wrong field.
You know what? The main thing I think, not that anyone's asking for any tips, but I'm here to
Yes,
give up.
we usually end with tips, but please start with tips.
In fact, somebody actually did ask me for one. This actor I was doing some interviews with, and she didn't think she was doing very well. And I said, you're doing great. What are you talking about? Basically just don't overthink it. The first thing that comes to your mind, as far as an answer goes, go with that.
Let it out.
Well, because you're going to need all the other time kind of around it to make that thought even better. You could go on your instinct and then try to polish
Back
that turd.
out of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Either polish that turd or walk it back. Right? Have you ever made a joke that was wildly misconstrued in an interview? Because I have a very specific one.
I have on online interviews because there's no nuance, there's no sarcasm, there's no
Where like it's written, you've filled out some questions, or
yeah. Like I'll get a question and then type an answer or ask somebody to type because I don't know how to type.
Sure.
I can sort of peck a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, all those sort of sarcastic or snarky or sly responses just sound like a dick. Well, maybe I sound like a dick all the time.
No, your brand is shittiness, and I didn't create that. Arnett so accurately pointed that out. If ever there was,
by the way, I learned from Arnett.
Sure. But you,
of all people,
right?
To say
Dr. Shitty.
Yeah, he is Dr. Shitty. But
and by the way, Dax, you're Dr. Shit.
This is why you always hang out with addicts worse than yourself, so that you can always like, I'm not that shitty. Look, have you been around Bateman lately? But
that's my point, right? You could say something shitty, but if you've got some kind of shit eating grin on your face, then you can kind of earn it back.
Or you kind of innately have a glint to your eye, like there's a sparkle.
Those are contacts. Those aren't, and they're not cheap.
They must be diamond based. But you, if ever there was a sense of humor that probably doesn't translate to print, it's yours. Because mine doesn't. Quite often it doesn't. And I think yours is even more sarcastic.
Dry.
By the way, it's my very favorite sense of humor in movies. I can't get enough of your.
Thank you, I think. I mean, it's mine too. And my mother is British. And so that was always sort of my favorite sense of humor. And then I didn't really have a chance to do it as specifically until I was given Arrested Development. Right. I mean, there was some in the shows that I did beforehand, the sitcoms and stuff. But that brand of humor, that Arrested Development, it's very small and it's soft and it's quiet and it's shitty.
Yeah, even when you dropped down there just now, I put my armor on because I knew something was coming. So yeah, because you're the king of like, okay, so now what you're gonna need to do is you need to get to pack that fat ass up and whatever mean thing you're gonna say, you go down an octave.
Yeah, but I guess the only way you get away with it is if you seem like a guy who is twice as tortured as the person that they're talking to.
That's a great point.
You may have a big fat ass, but you're not nearly as miserable as I am.
Yeah.
You know, but so there's like, and I don't know what the math of all that is, right? But somehow you have to look dumb and tortured and pathetic in the eyes as you're saying it. And to your point, a long-winded way to come back around to it is that you can't see those dumb eyes or that earnest or broken face in print,
no,
or online, or in animation. I mean, you're very, very reliant on the artists in animation.
Yeah, are you good at that?
I don't think so, because all I'm doing
at this point, you would have a couple cartoons.
Meaning,
if you just map like where you are at professionally. Do you have a couple cartoons that I'm missing?
Well, the Zootopia did well, but I don't think. I mean, I'd love another whack at that. I did not know what I was
back
doing.
In the booth?
Yeah, I mean, thank God it was for such a great company, and they kind of had me covered downstream.
I'm so stupid because I loved it, and yes,
you're not
lead.
stupid at all. I mean, it's not like Jason Bateman in Zootopia. It was like, we got it, guy. You know, Zootopia this is a Disney film, and
Disney is the star generally, right?
Always, yeah. I mean, look at
my wife.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, Cable, she's not above title, and you would once you kind of dig in a bit, like, oh, well, she's like. In fact, me watching it with the girls, was like, wait a second, that sounds like K-Bell. And then she started singing, and I'm like, no, that can't be K-Bell. I mean, how long had we been friends? And I didn't know she could sing.
Right, she never sang to you.
It's like, good God,
I know, but that was your first one, though. I guess I'm saying, like, most comedian. Let me start by saying I'm terrible at it, which is why I don't have any of those things.
Am I.
I'm not good at it.
I sound like I'm just leaving a message for someone on their answering machine. I mean, seriously, like they'll play it back, and it's like, and I'm saying, I don't even need a note. Let's just go again.
So
look at us sitting here talking.
Just a couple of dads. Mm-hmm. What I'm curious about is, because you started so young. There's so many things I'm immediately met with the fact that I know all these tremendous stories about you that, of course, I will not bring up. I mean, you've had a real wild ride.
Why don't you try, and then I'll go. And I'll have my hand on the buzzer.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's my hope that we'll leave here having heard just a bit of you and Leif Garrett's fucking ski trip story.
Right. It's Leif, first of all.
Okay, thanks. See, that's the kind
if
of
he was
thing.
here, he'd correct you, and not in a shitty way. But I guess if you've got that name, I mean, there's a difference between Leif and Leif.
Yeah, but do you think I'm in the minority? Don't most people think it's Leif Garrett? But it's not. It's Leif.
I think you're probably right.
Okay.
How's it spelled?
Leaf.
Oh.
No.
But there's Andrea and Andrea. Like, how would you know the difference?
Right.
Right?
Yes. I have a hard time with all those names. And
And
Leif is no
Dakes.
exception.
How often do you get Dakes?
Dakes. All the time. Every
Right?
time I order a pizza or anything. Oh, Dake Shepherd. And then I
That's
think of-
racist.
And
What
then
you
I
just
think of,
did right
no,
there.
I'm
You're
allowed to
not
do
allowed
that
to.
No,
one.
that was stereotypical.
No, that was Australian. I think I'm allowed to do that. Weirdly, I think I can do Australian, but I cannot do English.
Really?
I mean, you see, I said I think I can do
Why don't you just say
Australian.
aluminium?
Aluminium.
No, you put in another vowel there.
But that's just because he can't say that word. You should give him a different word.
How about gasoline?
Oh, Gazel, how about this? Thank you for calling Lucifer's Pizza. We now have 2 locations. For our Melrose store, press 1.
Stop.
For our Hillhurst, press 2. I swear that's how the message sounds.
That's a southerner that spent too much time in Melbourne.
Thank you for calling. I could just watch your face turn as I was getting into it. It was getting
That was me switching to another podcast.
more and more. But I am curious because you started very young. You started, the first time I saw you, of course, was on Silver Spoons. I loved Silver Spoons. We've talked about this before. Fuck, we should
Ad
have brought
nauseam.
that. I wrote a very heartfelt essay in 7th grade about Silver Spoons and why it taught such good family values.
You what? You wrote an essay
yeah.
about your dissertation in 7th grade?
Heartfelt essay. Like I thought this was the best show families could be watching in America. And I wrote a very long essay about it.
In what year of the run were you referring to? Because I was only there for the first 2, I think.
Was it the first 2?
Mm-hmm. And then Alfonso Ribeiro came in.
Well, I wrote this in 87. So what year was I wrote dates now and I could answer
I think
this.
I was gone by then because I think
19. Oh no.
I started It's Your Move, and then Hogan Family I think started in 86. So I think I was gone
Okay.
in like 85.
And I very well may have written this while it was in reruns. You know, I'm not even positive I was catching it first airing.
Right.
Suffice to say, I loved it. And then also people would tell me I looked like Ricky Schroeder as a kid, which was a huge compliment. I loved getting that
He
compliment.
was a good looking kid.
He was good looking, and he also wore a white swatch.
He sure did.
Yeah, and I
I
wore.
believe you could pop out the face on that bad boy.
You could swap the faces.
Sure, you
for
could.
sure.
It depends on what kind of night you're going to have. What kind of signal you want him to throw.
But when you start,
What kind of options were on the table.
yeah, was he going to like teen nightclubs and stuff?
I think he did pretty well.
Yeah,
He had a white 944, I believe, if memory serves. White 944.
really at like
Mhm.
16.
Yep.
Turbo. He didn't go 928. That was the hot model when we were young.
The 928?
928. Yeah,
The
from
9
Risky Business.
Yeah. Did you ever drive in one of those?
never.
Those were muscular, very heavy car, front engine.
Yes, V8.
Mhm.
Porsche's only V8 at the time. I look at those sometimes online, debating. I'll sell myself for a full afternoon, then I need one.
Oh, you should get one of those.
And then I
get
imagine
one of
trying to
those
get
in-
it worked on. Like
Well-
some engine they only made for 7 years. There's no parts for. It's not like their their boxer motor that's in
right.
every single car. There's probably a trillion. I just foresaw myself on the phone with somebody in Austria. Asking them
Let's
if they
hear that
have-
one. Let's hear that one.
Okay.
Think
Wait, there-
Schwarzenegger. Think
Yeah. Well,
Schwarzenegger.
I was going to say I can only do Schwarzenegger.
Go ahead. That'll qualify.
All right, I'm looking right now in the
That's great.
I'm looking in the
Pretty
catalog.
good, yeah.
All right, I see that you have the 4-liter V8. Yeah, and you need a carburetor. Well, I've got good and bad news. The bad news is there's 8 individual carburetors for it. I messed up. That's the good news. The bad news, I only have 6 of them. So I immediately went to that conversation. I was like, get another car. But I do want one just from Risky Business.
They're pretty great.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare. This episode is brought to you by SoFi, the all-in-one finance app where you can bank, borrow, and invest all in one place.
Let's talk bank accounts for a second. The average bank savings rate is 0.39% in interest. You're earning pennies on your savings, but it does not have to be that way.
With SoFi High Yield Checking and Savings, the money barely making moves sitting in your savings account can earn over 8 times the national average savings rate with eligible direct deposit.
No account or overdraft fees, which feels rare these days. You can get your paycheck up to 2 days early, perfect for getting ahead of a bill or grabbing what you need right when you need it.
Plus, get up to a $300 welcome bonus when you sign up with eligible direct deposit. Sign up for SoFi Checking and Savings at SoFi.com/armchair. SoFi Checking and Savings is offered through SoFi Bank N.A., member FDIC. Terms apply.
Confidence. It's listening to your gut. It's moving forward even when the path ahead is unclear. For nearly 160 years, Pacific Life has helped people keep their promises, building confidence for generations. Whether you're confident in your financial future or just beginning to envision it, we're here to help. Ask a financial professional how. Pacific Life, the power of a promise. Pacific Life Insurance Company, Omaha, Nebraska, and in New York, Pacific Life and Annuity, Phoenix, Arizona.
Reminded me, I smashed Amanda's thumb in the fridge door yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you say fridge door, you think, oh, well, you can walk away from that. Something about these fridge doors.
You've got an industrial fridge, probably.
It's a heavy door, and it's got one of those little fronts that are built on it. So it kind of like looks like the rest of the walls in the kitchen.
Oh,
and so
it's veneer.
It's created.
Was it wood?
It's created a lot of weight and a bit of an edge.
Okay.
No.
Like guillotine.
You could cut a lot of paper. The paper cutting machines.
Sure.
Buddy, the whole tip almost. It didn't cut. I mean, like it was, but I don't know how she didn't lose the whole tip of her thumb.
Oh my goodness! And what was the sound she made?
I don't remember. I remember me yelling, "Baby," in a real pathetic way as it was shutting
in a helpless way. Oh, you were like warning her. Wait, let me just ask you the mechanics of this. Did you slam it from a like?
Well, I was angry at her. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Right.
I was leaving the fridge as she was going into it, and I kind of closed it as I was walking away. And as I was walking away, her face turned away from the fridge as she was putting her arm in the fridge to get something. It was just like a perfect storm.
It's the kind of thing you'd see in a movie and go, that can't happen. Why did she turn her face the second she was inserting it in the...
Exactly.
Yeah.
It just, oh God. Anyway, sorry.
Were the children present?
They were in the other room, and this is part of the miracle of Amanda. She was able to hysterically cry silently over the sink with the cold water rushing over it and a bag of frozen blueberries on it. It took
mom.
5 minutes for the kids to come in and see that something was wrong.
What a beautiful mom. And no blood.
There was a little that was weeping from under the nail bed.
Oh no!
Buddy. No, she's gonna lose the thumbnail.
She's gonna lose the thumbnail for sure. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's
I'm really impressed you made it today.
Right?
Given that happened.
Yeah, I should be at
and
the
that was
ER
Sunday. That was Sunday morning.
This was Sunday afternoon.
Everything had been going smooth and relaxing.
Yeah, she had her sister and new baby over, and she was
you weren't getting
hosting.
enough attention, probably.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. What about me? I can cry.
Yeah.
Whoops,
yeah.
I made her cry.
Right, but then you could come rescue her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so nice. But I do want to ask you, when you started on, so first of all, your very first acting job, if Wikipedia is correct, it happens to be my single favorite cereal of all time. Probably eaten more of this cereal than any other cereal.
Golden Grams?
Golden Grams,
Yeah.
You got that right.
Yep.
You were going to put $200 on the board.
Golden Grams is up there. Life cereal is a
Yes.
real sneaky pleasure.
It's a staple. It
What
sure
else
does.
is real good? Remember, Grape Nuts is a sneaky pleasure.
Okay, you tell me why you like grape nuts, and I'm going to tell you.
Are you about to kick me out of here?
Why it's a box of pebbles.
Box of sand.
Yes. I used to see the commercial, and it's like a very like a hardy man in overalls with a flannel shirt on, and he would chop a tree down, and then he'd just turn to his left and he'd eat a huge fucking bowl of Creighton nuts on,
What he should have done
the
is-
chopped down tree stump.
He should have turned to his left address camera and go, "This is what's going on in your colon when you eat a bowl of grape nuts."
It'll be like this 40-foot tree running right through the lower GI. But it looked so good in the crunching in the commercial. The Foley work was off the charts. I don't know what they were popping in the studio, but it sounded so good. And I would give it a try like every 6 months because the commercial would get me.
You weren't letting it saturate enough.
Do you do an overnight brew, basically?
You need to marinate them for a good 12 hours. It's like making jam.
Yeah. You just pour it in right before bed. And then when you wake up, and it's just, then it tastes
I
like
feel
a
like
completely normal
They
cereal.
might be out of business now. I haven't seen a lot of them.
Grape nuts.
Right?
Well, they're certainly not advertising the way they were. Well, they certainly lost that guy who was chopping down the trees to old age, I would
He
imagine.
blew his O-ring out,
He
to
did.
quote Tom Arnold.
Too many yeah.
What movie?
True Lies.
Yeah. In the stall.
It's coming full circle. Yes, Mr. Shepard, I'm just looking right now through the catalog and I'm seeing that there are many spark plug options. I cannot recommend one particular spark plug. I would recommend that you order all of the spark plugs. So 8 spark plugs times 7 options, 56 spark plugs.
It's amazing what happens to people's faces when they do accents,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Their whole face changes.
I'm assuming mine looked ugly. Is that what you were
different,
gently
not
t-
ugly.
Different.
Not
That's part of
ugly.
that animation minefield you have to watch out for, right? All those big faces is the stuff that you
yeah.
don't want to do when you're acting, but you need to.
Yeah.
to get there.
Right.
But they've also added a video component to most of these things to promote it. And then you're caught with a lot of egg on
yeah.
your face, right? Because can I see the face you would make for that fox? Was there one in particular?
A lot of high eyebrows.
Oh.
Eyebrows got to go up high, bunny.
Yeah, you look
Yeah.
like the fox when you do it.
And then I have to get down into like Arnett land. Oh, really, bunny? Yeah, that kind of. Yeah,
Arnettville.
yeah. So
Uh-huh.
you go Silver Spoons and then Arnett.
Uh-huh. So, okay. You did Golden Grams. That's awesome. And then you do Silver Spoons. You're a standout. You're on that for 2 years, and then they give you your own show. I want to know, at that time, are you too young to even be aiming at, I'm going to be a comedian or a dramatic actor or neither? Do you remember thinking?
Yeah.
Because I feel like you're the revelation that you're hysterical, to me, felt like a revelation. Like in Arrested Development, I think I was like, I know him. He's a good actor, and I've known him since I was a kid, but I didn't know he's a comedian. In fact, I think the first time I saw you in a comedy was Dodgeball. Was that all overlapping with
That was
Arrested Development?
Yeah, that was like on a lunch hour from Arrested, or half a day.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when you first popped on screen, I was like, wait, this doesn't make sense to me. It's all straight comedians in this movie. And then there's Jason Bateman. And then about 4 sentences later, I was laughing really hard. And I'm like, oh my God, he's super funny. But that, I imagine, took some convincing.
The Dodgeball?
Yeah.
Yeah, talk about the dashboard smoking on that one. 'Cause I had no idea what kind of tone they were going for with that one, and I had to say, what is this too much? Are you sure this isn't too much? He's like, no, let's put a neck tat on you. Like, okay,
Okay.
now you're giving me signals now.
And that was Rawson's first movie.
I think so. Yeah.
So
So he had
you were-
done those great. Was it Reebok commercials with the linebacker that was not Tate?
Yes, I know what you're talking about, but I'll never remember. Yes, he had some success in the commercial world, but
Yeah.
still, you must be, having never seen anything of the person's. You're also probably thinking, oh boy, I'm really going for it, and there's really no way to know whether or not. I'm
Yeah,
good. But there were,
I mean, you got Vince Vaughn and Ben Stiller in that, and you're like, I'm lucky to be there.
yeah, I guess that's true. But I do remember reading that apparently the Coen brothers, the only actor they never got along with well is Nick Cage. Do you know this whole thing?
Is that right?
Yeah, they infamously did not. That's why he's never returned to another
Really?
Coen. But everyone returns to those movies that they work with, but they infamously hated each other.
Really?
And
I love that movie.
It's my very favorite of theirs. It's my number one comedy of all time.
I wonder what their problem was, what the sticking point was.
I can tell you both people's problems because I've since read a lot of interviews about that topic. And Nick Cage's argument, which is very legit, is that he said everyone after me had the benefit of raising Arizona. all he had was Blood Simple,
Right.
which was a great movie, but it was not this crazy heightened world
Right.
that somehow works believably. So he's like, I didn't know if I could trust these guys. And it was so crazy. And his outfit was crazy and his hair was crazy. And his tattoo of the road, so many, again, red flags.
Right.
And so that was his complaint. So they were asking him to go along with their plan, and he was nervous, which I get.
To be big or to
Just
live
the whole
in the
world.
big
I mean,
world.
imagine
Yeah.
shooting that fight scene in the trailer and like, wait, so you're putting the camera there and it's going to spin around, and
Right.
then someone's going through the wall into the toilet, and and watching John Goodman, like I bet
Right.
it was all
Right.
and you've never seen it. They created a paradigm that movie didn't exist until that movie.
I do remember watching that going, oh, wow.
Yes, the
Yeah.
sequence when he steals the Huggies
Right.
was the very first time as a young person I was like, something's happening different with the mechanics of this filmmaking. Like I've never seen anything like this. When he goes through the window of the truck and all that, and the dog's point of view running through the house.
Yeah. Barry Sonnenfeld, right?
Yeah. And then now from their point of view, apparently Nick, his character, was obsessed with time. I guess because he had been in prison a bunch, or
Right.
who knows why any of us think these things are important. But his character was obsessed with time, and he insisted on having this watch. And I guess he checked the watch like throughout every scene, every take, all the dialogue. He's just constantly checking his watch. So I totally understand why he was nervous, because he'd never seen anything. They had never done anything.
Right.
And then from their point of view, he was obsessed with time, and he kept checking his watch the whole movie.
Right.
And they couldn't get him to stop checking his watch. And I guess it was hard to edit because he's checking there. And once you know that, you give it a rewatch and you do see him looking way more than you noticed in the past. He is all over that watch.
We got to watch that movie again.
Yes. So that was their issue. But did you think, who were you aiming at? Were you aiming at anyone? Did you have that kind of...
When I was a little kid,
Yeah.
I was dumb and arrogant enough to think that I was where I wanted to go was be a character actor. I wanted to be Dustin Hoffman, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino.
Okay.
And then, frankly, I started getting kicked out of schools for being a wise ass.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, well, maybe I'm kind of funny, and then auditions started coming for, guest spots on TV shows, and then ultimately the pilots and like Silver Spoons and getting a nice reaction from that. And so I thought, oh, well, I'll just kind of be a smart ass on film.
Yeah.
And then, thank God, I kind of had a bit of maybe I'm young enough, I'll sort of try to build up some sort of notoriety or success or capital or access or whatever it is, relevance in this lane, and then diversify that into I'll be De Niro later kind of thing, but through the
Yes.
side door,
Right.
like I'll be able to ask for a dramatic role or something
Which
like that.
ironically is what happened, but it certainly didn't happen on the timeline you were thinking it was going to, right?
And were it not for Arrested Development, would have never happened at all. In fact, there was a big gap there in the 90s where I was working, I was making, a decent living,
Yeah.
but nothing as high profile or as lucrative as the 80s.
Yeah.
And was pretty close to kind of out of the business.
Well,
And then along came Arrested, and I had a great appreciation for a new moment, and didn't want to disrespect it.
yeah. And I remember early into meeting you, or maybe you told me this in Bora Bora, which we'll get to because you and I had
A great honeymoon there.
we did. We had something that most people never get to share in their life, which is like 4 straight weeks on an island together.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
Ridiculous.
And I didn't even have to go to work. You had to go to work occasionally, not a ton.
If you want to
but-
call it that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you said at one point, and I want to get the wording right because I always think about it, is that there was a period where it's like you need a name to get roles, right? And that you at some point weirdly you had a name, but then that was the problem.
That was a hindrance.
Yeah. And I had never even considered that. Because my thing was so opposite of yours that like all I wanted was that like, oh my God, I've known that name Jason Bateman for 30 years. And then you just pointed out, there was a good 10-year period where that was a deal breaker.
That was
for
a barrier.
People. It didn't even matter if you went in and crushed an audition. There was the conversation like, oh, do we want Jason Bateman for this?
Yeah, because with that comes a certain amount of history or perception that might be counter to the product we're trying to sell, right? I.e., like single camera comedy was coming into vogue in the 90s, and I was known for multi-camera comedy, right? Sitcoms,
right?
So that was a problem, and plus just the whole sort of thing of not being fresh. There's something really attractive about having somebody who you had not seen before, and well, we've seen him, we know him. Certainly the people in the community, the people who are running the networks and the heads of casting, and it's like, we get it, but
you weirdly feel like you're inheriting all this branding almost, and you're trying to launch an entirely new show,
right? By them hiring you, with that comes something that is almost inherently tired, right? As opposed to in other professions, like, oh, well, that's credentialed and that's experienced. It's actually a detriment, right? In this business at times, not to sound pissed off about it at all, because I'm happy with, I have no regrets, but it was frustrating at that time. Like, well, I can't. I've been working hard. But I guess I have to apologize for that. It's in my way. Yes. And then fortunately, I got a chance to
do
put
it again
to good use.
Now, do you think if it was just the TV shows, probably would have just continued rolling? Is it Teen Wolf 2 that
first
put
film.
some stink on you?
At the time, I think I was not as savvy, or my head was not up out of the sand enough to know that was a bad thing. Only later did I see, oh, that's in the long list of things that just aren't great about the stuff that I've done, and it might be at the top of the list. And then fortunately now it's sort of in sort of a separate category of kitsch. I think. Fortunately, there's a stinker in my past that I was able to live through, and now it's fun to talk about.
Well, and also I say this about you all the time, both to your agent who I'm friends with, anyone who will listen. I've never watched someone navigate an opportunity as well as you navigated Arrested Development, and I think that came from having learned the hard way.
Yeah.
Because when you were on Arrested Development, all of a sudden everyone there had some opportunities, right?
Yeah.
You were going, no, make me the fourth lead of many things, which did that take, because you were certainly getting offered the leads and things, right? Was that hard to turn down and to stay the course of like, you know what, I'm going to do it differently this go around?
It wasn't difficult because the sort of the not the pain, but it was still very fresh in my mind that what my name means to my ability to get employed is not helpful. Mm-hmm. And I need to do something to help kind of reconstruct, rehabilitate what that name means.
Right.
And so I need to have that name associated and be adjacent to better, more credible names. And so let me work in things, if I'm invited, with people who are, to put it, to oversimplify it, cooler than me, that have more credibility, that are more artistically viable, blah, 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 blah. So if I'm invited to be in a prestigious project, great. I mean, I'll pull cable.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
While you were doing, because you were in the breakup, I'm trying to think of the many things that you did in that period, which was so smart of you. Because, you had 4 scenes you had to worry about. And you consistently stole whatever 4 scenes you were in. Not that you were aiming to do that, but I would leave these movies. In fact, when I think of Smoking Aces, which, by the way, if people haven't seen Smoking Aces,
That's a great movie.
Not just because it's a great movie, but you you have this reoccurring throat nodule thing or something. What is it you have? You have neck AIDS or something?
That's what it is.
It's probably human papilloma virus down there. It's going to turn cancerous at some point.
I don't smell good.
You kids, no matter how much you brush your teeth, it's coming from somewhere
deeper than that. Yeah. It's I had some nodules on my vocal cords during that week, and I had to get those removed after shooting, but it ended up working out well for this degenerate lawyer I was playing.
I don't think I've seen anything funnier. It's almost like you hear about people pulling their teeth for roles and shit like that. People should give themselves vocal nodules, because you couldn't have done what you did in that movie without a real impairment to your throat.
Joe Carnahan he had a great idea to put what looked to be a herpy on my lip. It was like a hamburger.
Yes.
Yeah, that played nicely with the vocal quality.
Oh, it really did. I mean, in real life, it was just nodules or whatever you said, but your character definitely had HPV on their voice box.
Yeah, we were trying to communicate that my guy had been up for a few days. Boxer shorts and a dress shirt, a hamburger, and vocal papilloma. Or whatever it's called. Papillona.
Vocal palposis. Oh my God, that made me laugh so hard though. But when you had this second chance, you're definitely saying no to some money though, right? Aren't you getting offered like some leads and shit? You did it. You took your fucking time. It's really admirable. I'm so greedy and impatient.
I don't remember any like, oh, good God, we're walking away from a huge check here. I don't ever remember it being a difficult decision.
Right.
But I do remember trying to, at some point, the equation of respect will equal longevity as opposed to fame or fortune. We got to build a foundation here, gang. We got to pour the cement before we start putting
some
up
rebarb
the boards
in there.
Yeah. And
I have very bad news for you. I'm looking at the catalog right now and I'm seeing that you need rebarb for this car. It's the only car ever made with rebarb. Promise I'll only bring that back one more time.
Yeah, no, it'll be back. It'll be back.
For sure.
He's in a revolving door entering his skyscraper. But you did get lucky though at one point, because one of these smaller roles, which you did for no money, happened to be Juno.
Yeah, good point. Yep.
That worked out well, right?
Yeah, that I was not super keen or eager or aggressive to grab a hold of until it was clear that my firstborn was colicky. And then I went ahead and finished the script, and then asked my manager where it shoots. He confirmed it was out of country. And for about 3 weeks, and I said, let's go ahead with this one.
So you were just dodging a colicky baby.
Yeah,
The
she was
universe
not
is
comfortable.
funny that way, because you would think you would be penalized for making that decision, but in fact you were rewarded for it.
Well, and I put it all in an account for her.
Okay.
I made sure that anything I made on that movie would go towards my beloved angel.
Right.
Who worked through the abdominal kinks. She's come out the other side.
Oh boy, she couldn't be more beautiful and spunky. We were just on a camping trip together, and I was like, okay, she got your sarcasm. She's funny.
God, I love her.
Yeah, she was really cracking me up. She was like giving you a ton of tood at certain moments, but all within the zone of it was funny enough.
I was looking at her yesterday, and we'll digress for a second of parental sappiness, but I started to well up just looking at her. Doesn't that happen with you? Like, I didn't think I'd ever be that soft, but kids now, like I cry in commercials.
Yeah, they really do melt all that.
I'm not going to be good when they go to college. I seriously will be that pathetic. I'm not going to be okay with being an empty nester. It's going to be deep, deep sorrow.
Maybe we could start like an empty nest dads club,
or just start adopting children.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's an option, I guess.
Yeah, I just want to keep the assembly line going.
But she's so fucking cute, right from day one. And she's really
Thank you.
she's holding the line. Because my kids are really cute right now, but I am very scared that it's going to turn.
I think you're stuck with a couple of real buttes there.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't think you can get away from that.
But weirdly, I don't even know if I've told this to you, but you've been really instrumental in my own life because let's get right to Bora Bora. You did a movie. My wife and you did a movie in Bora Bora called Couples Retreat.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just there exercising and writing and stuff. And Belle and I guess, were together for maybe a year at that point. You and Amanda and Belle and I kind of potted off and played a lot of Scrabble.
Yeah.
You're the slowest Scrabble player in the world, as I remember.
You know, I don't want to make any mistakes.
No, you didn't. You didn't make any. Well, we never finished one either. But
there is no listeners. There's no beating your host in Words with Friends or Scrabble.
Oh, is that how it is?
You're fantastic.
You're
the host.
I'm the host. I thought you were saying when you invite someone to play, you're obligated to sandbag, and that I had invited you, and I should have sandbagged.
You've got some real word skills.
But at any rate, at a certain point, you pulled me aside, and you're like, you've got to marry this girl.
I told you that.
Do you remember that?
I don't.
Probably not.
I mean, I don't. I don't doubt that I said it.
Let's start with
she's a real catch. That one.
She is. Let's start with some prerequisite knowledge. Do you have a good or bad memory? Pretty bad. Terrible. Okay.
But you can give me a page of dialogue and I can turn it around in a few minutes.
Step back.
Yeah.
I did. I've in my real life given you a page of dialogue.
And I get it close.
No.
It's usable.
You smack it right out of the park.
That's
a
Kristen,
useful
too.
take.
What's that? Kristen too.
Exact same thing.
Yeah.
She has no memory for anything in life, but she can do that same. She has the same skill.
In fact,
you
I think
get one or the other.
I think you guys would make a great couple in general. I'd say
Me and Kristen.
Yes, I'd say of all the people she's ever worked with or friends with, she's in love with you, and I say that in a positive way. And I've thought, I think they'd make a good couple. That's again, I don't want to.
That is a huge compliment.
I like to ask most guests if they want to fuck my wife at some point.
Well, I think these are two different questions, and I'm happy to sidebar this with you later. But listen, the reason that I think Kristen and I would do quite well, and something we'd love to talk to you about, is that she, like my wife, is a great friend, and I feel like, you break up with girlfriends, but you never break up with a buddy.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought about before I married Amanda. I was like, well,
and you guys had been friends for years, right?
Yeah.
Which is kind of unconventional. Rarely do I think that works, but in your case, it worked.
You prefer the arranged stuff.
I like it. If I were ranking them, it would go arranged.
Then
two would be
swipe left.
No, it gets like knocked up style. You
Shotgun.
Impregnate shotgun.
Arrange, shotgun.
And then maybe to keep someone quiet because there's been a murder and you can't testify against your.
That's blackmail.
Yeah. Way down the list. Because I'll hear these stories. I'll have female friends that are like, I don't know. I just woke up one day and I was like, I'm in love with Brad. We've been friends for 15 years, and I'm like, I don't trust that. I feel like your options ran out.
Right. There's definitely part of that with Amanda, but I knew when she and I started becoming friends that she was definitely not somebody I could mess with. Like, I got to make sure I get things tightened up and get the whole sort of quote girlfriend stuff out of my
balls.
And then if I can get it all together to match her,
you had to win her basically.
Well,
you had to become a guy that was worthy of her.
It would be marrying a co-equal and having the balls to do that. I think a lot of fellas will sort of take, here's someone who's not going to give me a lot of bullshit.
Right.
And that's a mistake.
And you and I have chosen another path, which is this woman's going to ride my ass up and down the flagpole.
Yeah, I got to keep it all together. Otherwise, I'm either going to get run over or kicked out.
Right. And we need that. We need a realistic threat, don't we?
Yeah.
To keep our shit together.
Well, I think otherwise it's tough to respect anybody, male or female, so it kind of puts the burden on you to keep your room clean.
Yeah. I like knowing that she has a lot of options.
Yeah.
Like if I fuck up and I'm out of there, like maybe a week's going to go by before she probably has someone better on the hook.
Right. She doesn't need you.
That's right.
Yep.
That keeps me honest.
Right.
But yeah, so you guys were friends forever, and this is what I really want to talk about, because you and I are both ex-scumbags, right?
Well, I think you're much better at it than I am. I think your list.
Oh, you mean sexually speaking?
Yeah, I mean, I thought I was doing okay.
Okay,
and then there's guys like you.
Oh, Jesus.
You're just a world class swordsman. Okay. No, I mean, like you're a real guy. You're a real.
Oh, jeez.
No, but
I
you're
don't have free time on my hands.
I don't think anyone's ever called me a stud. You know?
Oh, definitely.
No way.
Yes, Belle. I'm telling you, Belle thinks you're as hot as it gets.
Oh, really?
100%.
I'm 100%. That like kind of. Oh, he's fun.
No,
you know,
no.
You're a man. Look at the back on you. Get up for a second. I mean, I didn't get a tattoo until a couple years ago, and they're my kids' names. Okay,
that's a panty dropper. Kids' names on a dude. No, but sex aside, let's also just admit we're both in the same category, presumably, where because we have friends. You and I have a mutual friend where the women do just want the sexual encounter. Anyone who's hooked up with me was expecting a couple hours entertainment post-coital. Like it was the sense of humor that led the charge.
I think it can be a great tonic. Yes.
But you and I are both friends with Bradley Cooper, and there is just a legion of women that would be totally satisfied if he, seconds after the coitus, they heard the door slam. They'd be like, "That's fine.
They got their money's worth.
I got exactly what I want."
But what they might have been surprised with is that the guy can make you laugh too.
That's true.
He's a great catch.
He's a great catch.
Listeners, if you're wondering whether you should pursue Bradley, you're kind of on the fence about it, we highly recommend it.
You're like 49% there, whether you want to be with the sexiest man alive. Go for it.
Yeah.
Tip it over to 51%.
You're not wasting your time.
I guess one of my bigger point on the scumbaggery is that you really like to snort that white. For there was a period, right, where you like to get it white.
Oh, there were plenty of things I like to do. Listen, when I was not busy in the 90s working, I had to fill my time, my evenings.
Yeah.
There was no reason really to get up early in the morning and get to work.
Right.
So, yeah, I had some catching up to do.
You had an appetite, right?
I was good at it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and there was some funds I had accrued in the 80s that I had. Guys, let's all take a trip here, or So there was.
Well, and that brings us to Leif.
Leif Garrett. Yeah, so
Leif dated your sister.
Leif dated Justine for a few years. And he and I had a lot of fun. I think we had more fun together. We definitely had more fun together after that, but we got to know each other while he was dating her. And just like any little brother, you kind of look up to your sister's friends, certainly your sister's boyfriend, like he's a stud.
What's the age gap?
Justine and I are 3 years, and I think Leif might be another year older than that, maybe.
Okay, great.
I think something like that.
So he's a solid 4 grades ahead of you had he gone.
Yeah. So he and I started hanging out a little bit after they stopped dating, and we just, as the kids say, we just got after it. And Leif knows his way around a pair of skis too, so we went on a nice ski trip together.
That's what I like, is that you took it on the road.
We took it on the road. Leif and I went ahead and rented a 40-foot bounder.
We weren't interested. A lot of motorhome for you guys.
Well, they had the 35, but we figured,
a couple of men and means.
Yeah, well, we want the queen size bedroom in the back.
Yeah.
And we threw our mountain bikes on the roof.
Oh, fuck yeah.
We had, all you can handle on the inside as far as refreshments and food. We had a couple of Case Logic boxes of CDs, and we went down to
how what would you say is the true how many drugs are you traveling with? Like enough to go to prison? Do you think?
Boy, what?
Or were you
so.
optimistic and you thought you'll get things when you arrive at these different places?
I think it was more that memory is not fantastic on this subject.
Largely because of the ski trip, probably.
Probably in the altitude, you're killing brain cells as you're driving. Which a lot.
How
of
old
people,
were you on this trip?
Oh, I want to say early 20s.
Oh, fuck, perfect. In the
God.
bounder.
So that's a long time ago. So
Are
yeah,
you glad you did that?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
and we went from L.A. to Mammoth, Mammoth to Tahoe, Tahoe to Sun Valley, Sun Valley to Jackson Hole, Jackson Hole to Aspen, Aspen to Snowbird, and then from Utah back home.
That is a skier's paradise, that trip.
We did real well. That was a lot of fun. It was a couple weeks.
And did you ever because I would often plan these ski trips, and then first night out in that little village get so bombed
Yeah.
that I physically incapable of snowboarding the next day. I just fly all the way to fucking Colorado and never even make it on the slopes.
I did that. I had a European version of that. I was going to do a train kind of a loop or W right through Europe, and started in Amsterdam. And I figured we'd stock up there, right? Have a couple days doing some shopping. And it was Queen's Day is the birthday of the Queen, who's been dead 300, 400 years now. Okay. And it is about a 3 or 4 day festival. I think it's in April. And the streets are as packed as Times Square on New Year's Eve.
Wow.
But it's like 4 square miles of that kind of shoulder to shoulder thing, and for 4 days, day, night, day, night, day, night. And so I spent all my fun tickets there in like 48 hours, and just told the fellas I was just going to go home. And they went on without me, and I flew home.
That's another unique thing I was hoping to bring up on this thing is your ability to pull the cord. It's unique.
I've got some sharp scissors.
Yeah. Almost no codependency from you, right? You're one of the few people that's...
I think because I was so codependent when I was young. Like, I got married to a lot of things.
Okay.
Not the least of which was what I thought I was.
Sure,
That was the big one. That was a very painful sort of correction.
And what were you at that time?
Oh, I just thought I was just the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Like, there's just a superiority complex. Had you been able to venture into my head, you would have been like, boy, 72 and breezy, wall to wall. And then, the reality of the storm started coming in right around the early 90s. And it was like, okay, well, I guess I got to spend some time kind of rebuilding a more justified and substantiated ego, which meant kind of starting over.
But you kind of answer the question, because quite often I'll say, like, had you given me, I'm amazed when these actors succeed with success at that age. Because if you would have given me the things you had at your age, I would have done exactly what you did, and probably even worse. And it would have, my ego, there's no way I would have been. I was popular in 7th and 8th grade. That was it. Those were my 2 big years, and I was insufferable in those 2 years.
Those are tough years. You were the guy people hate in 7th and 8th, right? Because there's 3 people that weather junior high well, and they make it hell for everyone else.
Well, I got laid.
Yeah.
I was getting laid in junior high. I was a good skateboarder. Maybe the best among my friends. That was a big feather in my cap. That was working for me. And then I switched schools, 9th grade. 6'3", 149 pounds, big nose, acne, terrible haircut, and it's basically your 90s. I went, whoa, hold on a second. Not a single girl in this school likes me, and the dudes think I'm white trash. Wow.
You were a little off balance?
I was quite off balance for a good solid 2 years, just confused. How do I get back into that party?
Right. Well, it's similar in the sense that you were riding an ego that was based on things that were no longer in your control. They were gone. So in my case, it was employment and that stuff.
Pretty good flow of money.
Right. And yours was your looks or your seniority in junior high, and all of a sudden you're now a freshman in a new group. Yeah, and then you had to build up self-esteem on stuff that you could control.
Yeah, being funny and whatever else I do.
Interior stuff, yeah.
Wait, really quick, the Eurail trip, how long had that been scheduled for? You only made it 4 days, but how long were you supposed to be there?
A couple weeks.
Yeah. And the buddies, did they feel... Were they just like, oh, that's Jason?
They didn't care. There were 3 or 4 others.
And they had a blast anyways.
Yeah.
Very similarly, I met my buddies from Detroit in Europe for a trip while I was in college. And Aaron Weekly, my best friend, he was a part of this trip. And since they were flying from Detroit, they had a layover in Amsterdam. And that made me nervous right out of the gates. So I was like, I hope they don't go into Amsterdam. And we were all supposed to meet in Venice, Italy. Well, they went into Amsterdam on the layover. They did some space cake, some mushrooms, and got drunk.
All at the same time.
Yes, just all of it right out of the gates on their layover.
They were hungry and thirsty.
They were hungry and thirsty, and it was a layover. And then they all got on the train to go back to the airport. And my buddy Dean nudged Aaron Weekly. He's like, "This is our stop." They're all completely fucked up because Aaron was asleep. He shoves Aaron. Aaron wakes up and he looks at him. He goes, "This is our spot." And he jumps up and he grabs his big backpack. And then he steps out of the train. And then he turns around to see if Aaron's behind him. And he just sees the door shut. Aaron's still asleep on a train
Oh, no.
that made its way to the deep countryside of Holland.
Windmills.
Yeah, Aaron came to being nudged awake by a train attendant. And he said, just windmills everywhere. He doesn't know where he was at. He's at the end of a train line in rural Holland. And
Coming down pretty fast.
Hitting that brick wall. He's got to figure out how to get back to there. He wasn't paying any attention. Dean was in charge of the logistics. So now he's got to bring himself up to speed on even what airport he's flown in and out of. Yeah, so he missed a full day. We were in Venice without him for a full day before he made it back. Also, pre-cell phones. There's just no way to know. We just kept going to the airport every few hours for the next flight from Amsterdam, and finally he rolled out of there, came off the
Right, yeah, right. No cell phones. How do you had no chance of getting a hold of this guy?
I'm calling my ex-girlfriend who knows his current girlfriend, thinking, oh well, maybe they can help us.
He's going to call America.
Yeah, someone's going to call America, and I did. But another funny story that I love about yours is you and Amanda went down to Cabo one time, right? And do you remember that trip?
We've been down there a couple times.
Oh,
Which
you
one?
have? No, I imagine the first time you guys went there, and you were there for about 4 hours.
That's an ex-girlfriend.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't Amanda.
This is the one where we went down there. I went down there with an ex-girlfriend, and the accommodations were less than fantastic. Well, here's the thing. I've got a theory about travel. If you're we all work very hard. Everybody anywhere is working hard to make their accommodations where their home, right?
Away from home.
No, they're home
Oh.
as nice and as comfortable, like your nest, right? It's just animal instinct, right? The bird makes a nest as fluffy as possible, right?
Right.
You see a bunch of twigs, you're going to get them,
Yeah.
right?
Find
There's
some feathers.
Yeah, feathers and leaves would be even better, right?
Yeah.
You get them, you put them there.
Cotton out of a pillow.
Right. Now, would that bird, by choice, go fly over and hang out in a thorny nest, something that's kind of that you might fall through, or just a shittier place?
Right. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Right. So
Right.
unless you're going to go to a place that's a significant upgrade
Right.
from your home, travel.
Why
is,
leave?
Why leave?
Why
It is
leave?
a total inconvenience.
Very
Right?
defendable theory. I like it.
Now,
Yeah.
I understand the theory of, well, some people like to travel to expose themselves to culture or to kind of rough it and things like. I get it. I'm not that guy.
Right.
I make no. I'm not. I don't want to pretend that I'm some dude that loves to,
get a hostel. On the
in
beach
Cambodia and see. I mean, I get it. I admire those people. I wish I was that.
Right.
I truly do.
It's just not you.
It's not me.
You'd be being dishonest.
It might be me in 10, 15 years, as I was different 10, 15 years ago. Right now, I'm in a stage of thread count, and I got stuff I like.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And that's totally fair.
So I'm soft. So this was at the beginning of that stage. Now
That you made it the disclaimer, I'm not completely out to lunch here.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah.
Right.
We
So
know
I'm-
you recognize.
Right.
Now you're
admit-
safe to.
I admit I'm a candy ass, and I'm going down to Cabo. I've already driven by, the three-legged skinny dogs all the way down there. I'm feeling bad about the money I am spending, right? Because I just, it's tough to like you just driving by poverty on your way to.
Yes, it's very disconcerting.
I just feel terrible. Like I want to get out and say, well, I don't need to spend this on this hotel. You guys get him. So so we go into this hotel, an expensive place, and we go in there, and it's just crap, you know, and you know,
because I recall the smell really bumped for you.
The long list of things that just were not up to par or expectations, and I did not. I don't think I put my bag down. I think I kept my bag in my hand. Did a tight lap around the room, all the way to the bathroom. Flicked on the light, looked in the shower, came back out. I
think there's a bellman there.
There's a bellman there, and he said, "Anything else?" I said, "No. You can just show us where we just came from." And so he walked us back up to the front. We got back in the car, back to the airport, directly on a plane, back to the house, changed a little bit in the bag, went back to the airport, and that same day flew to Hawaii. Like
I didn't even know you went back home. I thought you just went straight to the airport and then did.
I feel like there was, for some reason, we had to get back home for something.
Okay, to get well or something.
Just to.
But can you imagine that, Monica? So the gal believes they're going on vacation to Cabo, and then he gets there and he's there for a total of 3 minutes in the room.
I'll bet you that I probably lost the fight with her about should we go to Hawaii or Mexico, and she probably won, saying, "No, there's this cute place down in Cabo," and you know, probably the website or whatever at the time, probably a brochure, looked great. And
well, you can't smell those
you
brochures.
didn't want to find a better place where you were. No,
I was. Yeah, this. Well, there now you've exposed my petulance,
Sorry.
right? Yeah, I probably was like,
My
I probably hissed something from from the bathroom,
Sure.
right? When I went back in there, oh, this is great, something like that. Great choice, baby.
You said it was inordinately moist in the room, right? You smelled a lot of that moldy smell.
Well, it wasn't high season. I can assure you that it was. We probably had some sort of a deal on it per the calendar.
But suffice to say, you lost a fortune probably on the.
Well, this was in the 90s, and I wasn't making great decisions.
And your wife has told me like she's in charge of the finances for good reason. Yeah.
I'm not good with all that stuff.
You're not. Yeah.
I don't. My extent of banking is going to the ATM.
Right.
Truly.
And you basically just tell Amanda, look, here's the things I want to do. I want to have a nice car because I drive back and forth to work a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then you handle everything house-wise. That's you. And I want to go to the baseball game a lot, right?
Yeah.
Those are kind of your two things. You're like,
I have a couple of things that I like to do. I don't feel like I'm extravagant.
you're not ostentatious, no.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't. She'd probably differ with you, but
I don't think so.
Well, you know, she says that she always complains around, you know, birthday and holidays that I'm tough to buy gifts for because all I ever like are big ticket items. But that's also to say that you don't have to buy me anything. I don't need anything. But when there is something that, you know, the car is old or I feel like my seats are too far away from home plate. It's maybe after 5 or so seasons, I want to move forward, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
It's you know, I'm not messing around with, you know, pee-pee caca stuff. You know, I don't need new sunglasses every week.
No. You have one watch since I've known you that you have and you like. You don't have 20 watches.
No.
It does remind me one time though, you were at a baseball game. We were both at a baseball game and, I generally go, I'm not a huge baseball fan. I just go because I like to sit outside for a while and eat some hot dogs and talk with my friends. So I don't need to do the whole 9 innings. And I had gotten seats from the agency, so they were really nice. They were up front. And then I was walking out and my phone vibrates and I look down and you were like, couldn't make the whole game, bud. And you were like, whatever, a few rows behind me and had seen me get up and leave. And you were disgusted with that, weren't you?
Well, you like to throw bombs when you can.
Yeah, it's true.
You don't give me a lot of opportunities.
Any opportunity. Now, back to Bora Bora. Yeah, you pulled me aside and you said, you got to marry this girl.
Yeah.
And at the
were
time,
you on the fence at the time?
100%.
Really?
Well, I didn't believe in marriage, period. Like, I just didn't get it. I was like, I don't understand. I'm not religious. So I go prove to the state of California I love someone. I really couldn't wrap my head around the conceit of it.
What about your parents? You come from
Divorce.
At what age were you?
3.
You were 3.
I was 3 years old.
So
And
your
then-
idea of the whole sort of marriage world is just like shattered.
And then many divorces after that. 3 more divorces
From your
between the
mom
two
and
of
your
them.
dad?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Did I get that right? Yeah, 3.
Well, that makes sense.
So I just was like, it doesn't really mean anything. You can depart anytime you want, blah, blah, blah. But the big thing, and I remember telling you this, was that I felt like she and I couldn't have a relationship that didn't have, and this shows my lack of growth at that time, but I didn't think we could have a functioning relationship that didn't have a healthy threat of me leaving. Like, I didn't feel like she was ever willing to meet me halfway anywhere unless she really thought I might be done.
Got it. That was sort of your leverage.
My only tool, my leverage.
Yeah.
Was that there was
As soon as you say we're locked, I can't go, won't go anywhere, she's now going to run roughshod over you.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. How will I have any say over? And by the way, I don't think they were crazy ass. They were like, they were maybe self-improvement stuff for both of us to do. But I felt like it required, in the beginning, I mean, she and I were admittedly, and we've talked about it a million times, there's 2 very stubborn human beings trying to make it work.
Yeah.
And I just felt like without that threat, probably from either of us, that.
And then what do you think changed? Because you got married pretty shortly after that, didn't you?
Well, I got engaged, and then everything changed when we got engaged. But part of it, I was swayed by that, weirdly. That's what I'm here to tell you. I was.
By me saying you
yes.
should. Did I give you any reason behind that?
Yes, you did. You talked about a lot. About your life being married to Amanda versus your life not being married to Amanda.
Mm-hmm.
And
did I at any point say you're never going to do better than this girl, Dax?
Yes, I believe
Dax,
so.
it's over for you.
Yes, but
you may have crushed ass in the past, but pal, you're not 20 anymore.
But again, I yes,
no.
But I didn't. I will say in my defense, I never really thought about doing better or worse.
Yeah.
It was just like, is this
right?
Are we happy together or not? I don't. Sure, my ego on some level would be like, oh, it's embarrassing. We broke up. I'm quite certain everyone will think she dumped me, as it would seem logical. Those things are in the stew, I'm sure. But all in all, no, I wasn't really thinking of it that way. But you did make a very persuasive argument, and then it ultimately was a leap of faith.
Right.
Because I still didn't want to do it, but I thought, fuck it, man. I'm going to do this.
Because you wanted to be a husband.
I wanted to be a father.
Yeah.
I wanted to have kids. And then crazy enough, from the day I asked her to marry me until now, completely different human being.
She or you?
She.
Yeah. What about you?
180.
You've changed a ton too.
I've changed a ton, absolutely. But she, from that day on, like prior to that, very jealous, hated my past, all those things. And then from that day on, give a shit less. It all just changed. She felt safe finally.
Yeah.
And then all that stuff in the background didn't matter anymore.
And then what about your sense of whether you've lost leverage and she could leave at any time? I bet you became more secure too. And just like, well, actually that stuff doesn't matter because we're hooked and that's what I want.
Yes. And then of course you have to, even more importantly, it's like, well, threatening to leave someone's never a great way to get them to change anyways. That's not the healthy way to do it, right? It's just be honest and vulnerable and say, my needs aren't being met. And then have faith that this person you've linked yourself up to has a desire to meet your needs.
Yeah.
That's the kind of the leap of faith.
Yeah.
It's like,
and it's amazing how that takes constant nurturing and work, right?
Oh my God, like, always.
The gravity is super strong for things to not work in this world.
Entropy.
Right?
Yeah. Same with diet, exercise, your body, your mental health, but for some reason we do all have this silly notion that you'll meet the right person and it'll just work.
Yeah, it's about picking somebody who, and this, I don't want this to sound disrespectful to Amanda, but picking somebody who through your best ways of educating your guests, check all of the necessary boxes that feed the part of you are most proud of, right? The part that you know is sort of evergreen. And like, this is a person who, in my best self, I deserve or I'm worthy of, and vice versa. Mm-hmm. And then, as you say, you just make that leap and you work on it every single day.
Yeah.
Because think about how hard it is to just live by yourself. I mean, think about how much work, I know how much work you do and I do just to keep this weather, in the 70s, or even 80s in your own head.
Yeah.
And then you put in another person in that, male, female, whatever it is, it's a real tough combination, and it takes a lot of diligent work. And, I admire anybody that sticks at it.
And then you add kids to the mix.
Yeah.
And now there's a couple other folks that need your best self all the time.
Yeah.
But it is, I think I guess it's the heartbreak of the human condition is that you're not going to do that perfect set of bench press and then chest is built.
Yeah.
You're good to go.
Right.
Or the one good therapy session. All right, fixed. It's a daily reprieve with work.
Right. Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Well, but if you can figure out a way to get a high off of just the effort itself, that you just feel good about the fact, well, I did go to the gym today and I did do that bench press. I'm not interested in results. I am proud of myself for going through the process. If that can become the fuel for happiness and kind of give you that surplus of patience and compromise that you need to kind of get through an effective day, in relationships and at work and whatever, then I think you're onto something. That's a part that I kind of had to develop when I was kind of, somewhat broken or wheels were wobbling, in the 90s, trying to transition into something a little bit more solid. I kind of had to try to find the fuel in, well, at least I'm making the proper efforts.
Yeah.
If I could get off on that, then that was something I could maintain.
And what was the one point where you're like, okay, I'm putting a lot of effort into this. I have a new opportunity, a second chance. At what point did you go like, you know what? I don't think drinking can be a part of this. Was it motivated by that? Or just your personal?
It was part of the whole process for sure. I mean, there was, it sort of all happened. I'd love to go back actually. And I don't think I'd be able to see it on a calendar. I'd like literally have to probably be in a time machine. But what the sequencing was between when the drinking stopped, when Amanda came into my life, and when Arrested Development started to sort of take off, or, just getting that job, like the very beginning of it, even before it hit the public. So what was the chicken? What was the egg? So it's not amazing that all three things were sort of around the same time, but I wonder if one led to the other.
Right.
But they did all land at a time when I knew that I had basically caught up. I had spent the 90s sort of catching up with the sort of childhood I didn't really have in the 80s and all that sort of garbage.
Yeah.
And I was 30, 31, 32, and being the guy who's loaded at a bar or driving when he shouldn't or whatever, like that's just not cute, in your early 30s. And it's time to have a wife, a career, like what we were talking about earlier. Stop being like a 6th or 7th year senior and have the balls to become a freshman in the next stage of education.
Yeah.
And so I had to sort of self-graduate. I had to force that move there. And frankly, having Amanda in my life and certainly Arrested Development really helped that, because if I didn't have a job I had to get up for in the morning, if I didn't have a person I really respected to see the efforts that I was making, like I understand some of my friends that took a lot longer to kind of pull out. They didn't have a job they needed to. Like, why not stay out all night? They could sleep all day.
Yeah.
No reason to kind of set the alarm clock.
Yeah.
So those were definitely helpful. Drinking to me was never to kind of fill a hole or to sort of smooth any pain. It was more hedonism. It was just about having fun. It was like, well, I'm in a great mood. I mean, I don't have to go out tonight. I mean, I'm at about an 8 right now, just being happy. But boy, I could go out with my buddies and we could go, get
up to 11 or 12.
Right. Like, why not do that? Like, these are our years. Let's go.
But you would be at an 8. You would be at an 8 sober in that period?
I was always pretty happy. I mean, I was kind of beat up a bit about work. That was frustrating for me.
And I'm wondering, were you pessimistic by nature then? And did drinking make you optimistic?
I was definitely more confident when I was drinking, for sure. And it would help the thoughts about the prospects and whatnot, you know, but I wasn't doing a lot of grinding on thinking about my career and stuff at night when we were going out and having fun. I was just having fun. But then, of course, the next day would come around, or the Monday or whatever, and it was time to read a script or go out on an audition or something. And it was frustrating to me that I couldn't find the same level of confidence sober during the day going to an audition that I had last Saturday when we were out at the clubs.
Yes.
Like that felt not beneath me, but I was frustrated that I couldn't call upon that same level of assuredness. Like, where were all these thoughts and feelings that I had on Saturday? Why can't I just pull them up as I'm driving to this audition?
Yeah, Saturday you're probably excited to go to that Monday.
Yeah, I'm like,
audition.
I'm going to crush that thing.
Yeah,
yeah,
I got
not
it.
a problem. And then all this sort of anxiety and self-doubt would come because I cared, and I was finding ways to kind of negate the legitimate confidence I could and should have.
Yes.
But I was kind of imploding that for some sort of self-destructive instinct. I don't know what that was. Probably exacerbated by the fact that I was, drinking and doing drugs. It develops paranoia and all that stuff.
Also, you're waking up in the morning and you're probably not thrilled all the time with who you are. When you're writing your narrative self, you're like, well,
yeah,
okay, maybe.
Yeah. But and then hypocritically, it was a job that ended up sort of giving me that big, fat dose of confidence. And thankfully, when I was up, I then tried to replace that with something that was more long lasting and
substantial.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I definitely had a genetic predisposition for it. And then I also had trauma as a kid. So that helps. But also, yeah, I was out here for 10 years trying to get a job and couldn't get one. And just was like, this is never going to happen. And I definitely needed relief.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I was working, yes, it was easier to live sober. I could, so in that way, I guess
you were getting
coincided as well.
Yeah, you were getting an up during the day.
Yes.
And you could then enjoy kind of landing the plane at night. Whereas if I'm just sitting on the tarmac all day, like, let's fly this thing at some point today. And so let's make that at a bar.
Yes.
I get that. I understand that. It's a tough thing for people to be okay with, not flying that plane all day.
Yeah. Yeah. And then just the
I think that's what they mean when they say keep your day job. I mean, truly, it's like, you like, everybody needs an environment to excel in. Even if
be
you're
productive,
pumping gas. I mean, there's a group of employees that you have a family with. That there's a power dynamic, a humor dynamic, a sexual attraction dynamic.
Yes.
Like there's a whole. It's like school.
Yes.
And when we leave school, now we're on our own. There's no sort of pack that I'm either the leader of, or I'm second in, or third, or fourth. There's all these things we don't even know we're aware of growing up that we need to find replacements for as we get older. And not having an environment, a lot of people, it's just for work, even if you're not passionate about it.
Yeah, a purpose is powerful. It might not be the purpose you're after, but zero purpose certainly is not ideal.
Or zero environment.
Yes.
If you're just sitting at home watching Judge Judy and looking at your sides.
So I've been really, as I said, really blown away with the way I think Arnett and I did nearly the same thing. And we got to, before I even say that, I will say I have the unique perspective as I met you one time before you were sober. Well, I was at one time at a 4th of July party on the beach. All of a sudden you walked in. I was like, oh, there's Jason Bateman.
Dick.
And then you were just kind of like circling the kitchen a little impatiently. And then you went upstairs for about 25 minutes. Then you came back down for about 9 minutes, stayed in the kitchen, then went back upstairs. I was like, you just had kind of a dark aura around you.
You think there was probably something going on?
I think there was something upstairs that I wasn't partaking in. Yeah. I can't imagine there was like a painting up there you loved. Like you just couldn't keep your eyes off some painting on the second floor.
Not. But
and there was no fridge up there either. So it's not like you were getting a cocktail up there.
25-minute sessions up there, huh?
I don't know. You were up there for a while. Yeah. And I was all over it, of course, because I was like, I don't know, 2 months sober at the time. So my radar was sharp as hell.
Oh, so there wasn't a tap, hey man, what do you got going up there?
No. I was, but it was all I was thinking about is just hopping up those stairs and seeing what was going on.
And then, then when were you clocking me? Was I looking kind of jitsy?
Yeah. You were like, I was going to say, yeah.
All
like a little gacked,
yeah.
A little gacked up. Yeah. They say a fisherman always sees another fisherman at sea. I felt like I knew exactly what was going on, but I could be wrong.
Man.
But I met you there. But then the other thing, so you were weirdly influential on me, like proposing to Belle. And then again, weirdly inspirational in you and I did This Is Where I Leave You. So we did that together. And
You were fucking killer in that. You were great.
thank
Really
you so
good.
much. I had the most exposed I've ever been in a movie. I don't know if you recall, but I had a lovemaking scene.
Oh, yeah?
And
That's
I
right.
was, and it was determined by the director, not my choice, that I would be on top. You remember that? Well, of course you do, because you walk in.
Yeah, I'm basically, I bring the camera to your buns.
That is right. You brought the camera to the buns, but they were shooting low angle on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on top
And by the way, if memory serves, it was 175 degrees.
in that apartment.
Yeah.
But the camera was positioned in a way. Now, I could tell you, I would show anyone any part of my body a million times before I'd let you just glance at my anus. The last thing I want.
You're not proud of it.
I'm not proud of it.
You got a bad one?
I have a terrible anus.
What's wrong with it?
Well, I've noticed that it's irritated a lot. You know, like
Okay.
it's, you know what I'm saying? There's some redness.
Sure.
It's just.
Do you not use disposable wipes?
I
Dax?
do. And I even have the toilet seat that sprays fresh water at my anus.
As opposed to recycled?
Well, some people, are using gray water.
Is that true?
No. They have a closed loop system on their toilet.
These people have no carbon footprint.
None. They're so happy. Yeah. So I was on top, and my legs were a little bit splayed out, and the camera was so fucking low, and I was just like, they have to be seeing my anus on the monitors right now.
You got a pretty good clinch going. there.
Well, no. What happened after takes 1 and 2 is that our director came in and moved a piece of
sheet?
sheet directly in front of my anus, which can only mean to me that in fact they were seeing anus. That there's somewhere
Which
there
made you sweat even more?
yes, somewhere in some stockpile, Warner Brothers. Yeah. Anyways, that was really I felt very vulnerable with potentially my anus exposed like that.
But you didn't let it cost the moment, because there was like a real moment there where I think you're going away, you're having at it with my wife,
That's right. I'm having
and you don't know I'm in the
afternoon.
room,
No.
and then I say something like "Happy birthday" or something pathetic,
Yes.
and then the moment is you guys realizing I'm there, and you got to jump off of her,
Yes.
and
did you add the line or did I add the line where I said this is the first time? I go, I promise this was the first time. And then I go, on our side.
I don't remember whose ad that was, but that's a great
You either
line.
gave me that line or I said that line. Someone that was in the script, but I said, on our side. I didn't want to lie, but I also...
But I do remember that moment being, good timing in it. Timing that hadn't been screwed up by an actor being concerned about,
his anus too much. Yeah. But anyways, I watched you. I got to see you do a lot of parenting on that. I think when we were in Bora Bora, Franny was too young.
Yeah,
You're just kind of like in baby mode. That was 11 years ago.
2 years old, maybe?
Yeah, that was 10 years ago.
Oh, yes. She's only a year old.
Yeah,
Well,
so
coming
she
up on 2, yeah.
She was just a
Year
little
and a half.
baby. And you don't really, the parenting's, there's not a lot of parenting going on, weirdly. But on that movie, This Is Where I Leave You, I noticed what a great parent you are. Sincerely. I was
Really?
like, I love how you talk to your daughter. Maple didn't really need much talking to yet. She was just a blob.
Still doesn't.
Yeah, she doesn't.
She's got it handled. I start talking to her. She just puts a finger up and closes her eyes.
Yeah, but you have like, at least then, I don't know how it's evolved. I haven't watched you do much parenting since, but you had a very calming, you have boundaries. There you have a program for your kids, which we know a lot of folks where there doesn't seem to be a program. I am assuming the nanny's supposed to be providing it or something, but you were in charge, and there were rules, and there was a way to move through life. But the way you were reminding her of that was so even-tempered and calm, because I've even found early on in parenting, you're almost resentful at them that they're forcing you to be the dick.
Right.
Like you just want to have a good time with them, And you're up to be kind all day long.
I think I've almost said that exact line to them.
Really?
I may have even said dick at some point. I'm sure I'm not perfect, but I do resent when they know better. I'm sure you deal with this with your kids too.
Sure, 5 and 3.
Yeah, like guys, you're not 3 and 1 anymore. You know, like you get it.
Yeah.
Because I know, because we've covered this not just once, but a few times. And the fact that you're being lazy with your intelligence or your discipline is forcing me to now be a bad guy and not have fun with you.
Yes.
And I like having fun with you, and you've taken away my fun by being lazy. You know, that's sort of like insane type of conversation and logic. I would disagree with you. Makes me a fucking ridiculous parent at times, thinking that they're going to sit there and nod their head, go, gosh, she really makes sense. I feel bad now.
How selfish of us.
Right. So
poor
I do
dad.
make the mistake of talking to my kids sometimes
Too
like
much.
I would talk to you.
Right.
Like, Dax, here's what I'm feeling about what just happened.
Yes.
You know?
When you do this,
I feel right.
This way.
It's going to be more effective if you just take away the iPad for 20 minutes.
Yes. And also, like, they're just supposed to be assholes and get in trouble. What
Right.
fucking childhood? None of my memories, I don't have a single memory of a day I was behaving.
Right.
The whole book of memories is times I was busted.
But you know what I do remember a lot is getting encouragement, affirmation, acknowledgement for behaving well. The times that I did behave well. So I try to remember that with the kids. Like when they do something good, I make sure they get a little bit of, emotional
Positive.
junk food for that. Because for me, I mean, I think, there were actors that I worked with when I was a kid that were not well behaved. And the opposite attention I got by being well behaved, probably because I was afraid my dad was going to yell at me for doing the same garbage.
Yeah.
I became somewhat addicted to, like, oh, they think I'm a good kid. And so I did more of that, probably against what my instinct was, which was to be a jerk.
Yeah.
But I did it enough where I actually morphed into probably a nicer kid earlier than I otherwise would have been.
Yeah.
So
Well, like the motivation's probably wrong. It's people pleasing, right?
exactly, yeah.
Yet it also proves the thing where it's like your actions can change you. So if you just start behaving a way, you can slowly,
I
your
do believe
thinking
that.
catches up to your actions.
I do believe that, yeah.
There's no way you tell the dressing story, right? That's just too much.
Oh. Yeah, I would.
Yeah, okay,
I would,
great.
Lessons in masturbation will be on another episode.
That probably deserves its own whole podcast. If you ever
Sure.
decide to launch one, that should be your first episode.
I do have, it reminds me though, I do have a friend who masturbates missionary style.
No, he like humps his hand.
Yeah, he'll just put it on the bed there and
His hand.
yep. And he's also a front wiper. If you've ever met one of those.
I am too. You'll be disappointed too.
Truly?
Yes. And let's
Hang on a
argue about
second.
it. Yeah, let's argue about it.
So you
in your worldview,
you take a dump.
Yes.
And then when you're done, you go
Back
to front,
which
so
is
you-
frowned upon.
Well, sure. I mean, are you a eunuch?
But no,
what do you do with your garbage?
This is what I want to push back against. You're telling me you don't have the physical dexterity to wipe your asshole and not touch your balls afterwards? What is your fucking hand paralyzed?
It's easier for me to go around where the balls aren't.
I would argue it is not at all because you've got to now lift yourself off. You either got to, do you stand up?
No.
Okay. So you have one side, you're leaning over, right? To get your arm under your ass.
I offer.
You offer up one side. So now you're leaning on the toilet seat, which is already a
little bit
preposterous to me.
Right.
So you're leaned over halfway, and then you've got your hand behind.
Yep.
So your shoulder, rotator cuff potential.
Oh.
Does that hurt? Have you ever had a rotator cuff issue?
Not like yours, I guess.
Okay. So anyways, a very awkward position for your shoulder, and you're leaning on your side on the toilet seat.
Yeah.
You're putting a ton of pressure on one side of the seat. I guarantee if I went into your house today, your seat is crooked.
I've got loose. Yes.
It is, right?
Sure.
You're ruining hardware.
Whereas on
All
your toilet
because
seat, I'm going to see basically a backrest. Do you use the lid as a backrest?
Oh, like lean back?
Sure.
No,
well,
no.
you kind of got to when you go
I
down
can
there
show
to
you
clean
the
yourself.
exact, this will do nothing for the listener, but this is exactly how I do it. spread a little bit.
Sure.
Take my balls.
Okay,
I
so
lift
you
up,
do have. So you
and then
use
I go
two
like this.
hands.
Yes,
So you lift
why
your.
not? I've got a second hand. It's not like my hand's busy doing something.
Yeah,
I just
that's
grab
fair.
my penis and my scrotum,
Uh-huh.
and I just lift it out of the way, and then I wipe like this, and I stay seated comfortably. And again, I'm picking up the toilet paper right after I'm clear of the anus. I'm not dragging it up 5 inches through my perineum and then onto my testicles.
I would argue that the drag is part of the cleaning.
But why are you happier with having shit smeared up the top of your butt crack versus your perineum?
Well, what I'm doing as I'm dragging, I'm also rolling the paper into constantly a clean piece of paper.
Yes.
There's a roll and a drag.
Why
that
can't
happens.
that be done
You
across
can.
your perineum?
You absolutely can. You're just putting in another step of clearing out the garbage.
But here's what I would argue. We have stupidly mapped on a very smart wiping strategy for women onto men. Women, they don't want to drag any excrement into their vagina or they're
Sure.
going to have a terrible infection.
Sure.
But you have no risk of
I see.
infecting your perineum
So
or
they
the
need to
backside of
be-
your balls. Whereas you and I, we're up against the back of that seat.
Actually, I don't do that.
You
I don't do that because I've lived with a few dudes, and I don't like the what would you call sort of like the M that some sweaty dudes will leave on the back of a toilet seat with their sweaty ass cheeks because
Sure.
they're too far back on the ring,
Yeah.
and they leave an M print
Uh-huh.
on the back from their
Yeah.
buttocks.
Yeah.
So I'm mindful of that. I ride the front of the seat. I'm not reading a book. I'm not using the backrest like you are for.
I'm in there forever.
Sure.
I spend 40 minutes in there in the morning. The fact that I don't have piles is amazing.
Do you lose circulation in your legs?
Sometimes, absolutely. Yeah. And I just hang out, and then sometimes I get a second wave, which I love. I think, oh, thank God I hung in there for that long.
Really, twins? You didn't even know. You didn't know there were.
That's right. But now that we're talking about this, I'm now reminded that you're very fastidious. Is that the word?
Shit's tight back there, if that's what you mean.
You would be happy to expose your anus on film.
It's always camera ready.
It's always
powder dry.
But I do remember you're a bit of a you're not a germaphobe, but
no, but I'm aware that there could be something gamey on that person that I'm about to either shake hands with or it's just there's.
You'll like if you see a guy with two things, and I will not name any names. One is we had a friend who had some dander.
Mm-hmm.
They had some dandruff on their shoulders, and you were very aware of it. It was hard for you to not be aware of it. Do you remember that?
I'll avoid a hug with that fella.
Right. So you were pretty hyper focused on the dander. I was able to just go like, yeah, you're definitely right. There is some dandruff on the shoulders, but it didn't consume me.
Right.
Other things do.
Well, will you walk around in a hotel room without shoes or socks on?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's disgusting.
Right. But I'm not going to lick my feet or put my feet in my anus.
No, but
there's nothing about
but
my
that
feet are going to
foot
enter.
is going to go into your bed at the
very
hotel.
end, at the end of the bed.
Okay. But you move around a bit in your bed, right? I mean,
never so much that bacteria could make their way 6 feet north.
but it's there though. I mean, you could so easily keep your bed pristine and probably then have a bit more of a cozier, restful idea, or like just
for you though,
when you're about to eat food,
okay,
right? Finger food, let's say.
Yeah.
For me, it's going to taste better if I know that I'm eating those French fries or that apple or something with a clean pair of hands.
Yeah. See, and this is just where we differ.
Yeah.
I don't even think about it.
Right.
Yeah. And I've somehow made it this far. But the other time
I don't think I'm going to get an injury. I don't think I'm going to get a cold. I just feel like I'm eliminating anything that could distract from my enjoyment, the taste. If I get a whiff of that dude's cologne hand I just shook as I take a bite of an apple, I'm going to lose it.
Okay. Right.
Right?
Yes. That's fair. I don't have it on that level. But then the other thing that happened with you and I is we were playing poker at a friend's house and you had discovered there was a shit streak in the toilet bowl. And you had a field day with this. I think you talked about it for 30 minutes after the discovery. And then there was some talk of, well, the housekeeper's coming tomorrow. And you're like, what are you, a fucking animal? Just because you'll wait for someone else to clean up your
right.
Your
Yeah, like you have an obligation to wait to see what kind of damage you've done. and then hang out and maybe put more toilet paper in there, do another flush. Hopefully it'll catch and drag.
Right. Yes. Look, I was on your side of that argument. I thought you clean up after yourself. You leave the commode the way you found it. Right.
Yeah.
But you were really distracted though for the rest of the evening.
When I pee away from the house, I'm peeing standing up. Okay. And I will do a courtesy wipe around the toilet ridge.
Me too.
For any sort of splatter, right? Now,
blowback.
Oftentimes, that's not just mine, but it's from the second, third, fourth use before me as well.
Almost guaranteed.
Now, so that goes counter to somebody who would be like, no way am I getting near any of those germs.
That's
so
true.
I'm a basket case. I don't know where it
starts,
where it ends.
But what's interesting is I use a similar technique, which is I wipe the seat after I've peed in it. And then I think, why don't I just lift the seat up? Why won't we lift it up? I don't want to touch the underside of the seat. I think that's
that's what your shoe's for.
Okay. Even in like...
you don't catch the edge with the shoe. And
even in a friend's home?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so when you've been at my house...
Right.
And you've...
Well, I appreciate...
I'm now remembering a lot of peculiarities about you.
Some people have those toilet seats with look like the old-timey gold handle on the side of it. You ever seen those?
Yes.
Which I appreciate, but they're far too uncommon.
Yes, but that you would use your shoe for that.
Yeah, I just go to that little gold handle.
Something about you talking about kicking the toilet seat in people's houses brought me back to the New Year's Eve we spent together. We're at about 11:15. You said, "Let's get the fuck out of here."
I was celebrating
you guys,
Denver New Year's.
Yeah,
I guess.
you came over and I think really I would say most of it was that you just ate too many sweets. Is that what it was?
I probably overserved in the candy.
And then at 11:15, you're just like, no fucking way, we're making it to the ball drop. We're out of here.
Well, I also think
let's go.
If there's one thing that booze will do, it'll add another hour or two on your night.
Sure.
In a great way.
Yeah.
And so I'm usually 2 hours short of anybody else's kind of exit time.
Yeah, even on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, I couldn't care less.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Now, I want to talk about you directing really quick. I've always been truly.
We should reload though.
Yeah, you want to go pee pee?
No.
I couldn't emulate what you did because it was too late for me. I signed up to be the lead of 4 movies and they all tanked. So it's not like I could have emulated you, but I studied you and I always talked about how impressed I was by your decision-making ability and checking your ego and playing it smartly. And then also you started directing, I think with some sense of longevity as well, both because you wanted to do it. You were the youngest director ever to be in the DGA. Is that true? That's a record you hold?
At that time. I don't know if it's still there. Yeah, but it was an episode of the Hogan Family when I was 18.
Yes, and when you did that at 18, did you have a vision for it, or were you painting by the numbers? Is it just something ego-wise you wanted to do, or did you have a notion of what?
At that time, I wasn't. I wasn't positive that that's what I wanted to do. Later, I wanted to then become, like Jimmy Burrows and be like a multicam director that was
a billionaire.
Yeah, he's incredible. But then, acting kept kind of, getting in the way, and I'd get like a pilot and I'd, say, well, I'll keep doing this or something.
Yeah.
And, but as I got older and more courageous, right, to challenge myself to do what it is I think I can do, I hope I can do, I hope I've absorbed. Mm-hmm. Let's see if I can, push myself to like the absolute limits of what I could take on,
mm-hmm.
right? Which I did not have the courage to do that any earlier. Mm-hmm. Then I started to kind of put my hand up.
You also needed a certain amount of capital in the bank, right, to get something basically financed.
Well, or capital in the industry too. Like you put your hand up and say, "I'd like to direct a film." For a long time, we'll say that's great, kid, but we'll let you know when we're out of people that we actually want to direct the film.
Yeah.
So So that started happening for me, just after Arrested Development, when there were opportunities coming, and I put my hand up, and we found a script for Bad Words, the Spelling Bee movie, and it took a little while to get the financing for that, and did that.
And did you love it immediately?
Yeah.
And you have you're very well informed. You have a great knowledge of DPs. You see a lot of movies. You know what you want. You have an aesthetic. I could say this about your house. Your house is very beautiful. It's decorated well. Like it's one of
That's Amanda.
Okay. Well, shit. But you have good taste in cars. You dress generally well. Like you have an aesthetic. You have a cool watch. You're not a guy without an aesthetic, which there are a lot of guys without an aesthetic.
Well, I thank you. I could same to you.
Well, mine's just a little offbeat, but yeah.
Well,
sure.
but there's that's taste. You know what's you,
right?
And I see it in your films. I mean, there are things that whether you're generating them or not, you could get in the way of if you had bad taste. You're creating and or approving stuff that is good.
Now, what did you learn? Because if I was just objectively watching this thing, I saw Bad Words, which I thought you did a great job on. But then I haven't seen Family Fang, but I saw Ozark, and I'll give you like the ultimate compliment I can give someone as an egomaniac. It made me mad. You know what I'm saying? It made me question whether I deserve to do stuff.
That's very nice of you.
I don't know if you have a similar. Yeah.
I'm
like, oh, fuck.
I think I know
this thing looks perfect and the acting's on point.
But you know as well as I do that you can plan for a lot of really good things, but probably half of the things that you saw that you really liked that may have gotten you mad, like a lot of that shit just happens. And you don't know whether, oh shit, I wonder if he planned that, or was that just, the dolly made it to its mark at this time, and so.
Well, in general, I don't think there's any directing book or acting book or book about the film industry that accurately accounts for the amount of luck that's involved in every aspect of it. I mean, it's a good 40% luck,
including perception, which I think is a big one, right? So the way something is marketed, getting back to perception and baggage that your name carries, that the project itself might have in the end, because, pardon the term, but art takes so much benefit of the doubt. If you don't think that band is cool, it doesn't matter what song they're going to play. You're going to be, oh, that's crap.
Yes.
There's a lot of stuff there's very few things, in the art world that are undeniably fantastic. Like there's not one song that 100% of the people would tap their toe to.
Maybe Michael Jackson, but yeah.
Yeah, but then like you get some dude that's like, yeah, no, it's too poppy for me. You're not gonna get everybody.
No.
So, a lot of, as you know, directing and certainly editing is cutting out the crap that doesn't work.
Right.
As our friend Jon Favreau said, as he requoted Howard Hawks, a good film is like 5 or 6 great scenes and no bad ones. So that, and that ultimately is what I'm what I have my mind on is just making sure nothing sucks. So this angle on you, this angle on me, the dialogue we're saying, all this stuff, just make sure none of it is terrible.
Right.
And you're going to back into those moments of the dolly hitting its mark just right, and that's like so every once in a while things are going to spike. But if your rest face space place is not sucking and nothing is bad, then everything that's going to be different is going to be above, is going to be great. So if you're always dealing with level or good, then that's doing a lot of good things great. I mean, it's very hard to make something that has no bad moments in it. And that's what I'm trying to make on set and then in the editing room. And if it means chopping out an entire scene or actor or any, that's it.
It's got to happen.
You're gone.
Yeah. But you did, Ozark is so fucking good. Oh my God, is it good?
Thanks,
it's so fantastic.
Thanks,
because decide
Well, production
what's
designer
different.
got nominated for an Emmy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Derek Hill and John Richardson.
Oh, you got nominated too, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, that was a very fun, surprising morning for sure.
Was it?
Oh yeah, yeah. The girls were banging on the door wanting to go to camp, and Daddy was in a narcissism K-hole on his laptop, watching the live feed to see if there's any chance they're going to call my name, and they did, and I shut the laptop and tried to do a poker face and just put the girls in the car and let's go, kids.
That's make it about you,
right? And then walked.
So your old man got
anybody in the car know what an Emmy is? But
you got nominated for acting
and directing
and
too.
Directing.
But I didn't know about the directing till after I dropped the kids off and got back in the car and called the publicist and she told me about the directing and I got a little emotional because that was
that's a much bigger high, right?
That was the original draw for me was to direct all episodes of the first season. I couldn't end up creating enough and have enough time to prep them all, so I couldn't do that. But it was these scripts were like, oh, I want to direct something as kind of moody and dangerous as this, and see if I could kind of create some kind of environment like that.
It's a pretty big swing.
Yeah.
And you nailed it. Yeah. The sense of accomplishment you get, right? When you have made something, you go, oh my God, from beginning to end, that for for better or worse, that was my project. Isn't there like a great sense of accomplishment from that?
I mean, it makes me uncomfortable to say yes, but I would have to, if I'm being honest, there's for the reasons we were just saying, like there is so much thought that you can put into that job.
Yeah.
And so much collaboration that you can have with all these different departments and these incredibly experienced people.
Oh, that's the most fun about it, isn't it?
They're doing 7 movies a year.
Yeah.
While you're doing 1 every 2 or 3 if you're working all the time as a director.
Yes.
Right. These guys and women are doing it all year long, and to have, the common sense at least to turn to them and say, hey, can you help me make this even better? What's your version of what I just, fumbled out of my mouth? And to have all of that stuff coalesce into something that can, again, shape one experience for an audience. Like, it's a really complicated cooking process. There's so many different things that you go to the market to buy, and then you got to chop them just right. You got to cook them all just right, and you got to present it just right. Well, and the name on the restaurant's got to be just right so that expectations are in line with what you're actually putting on the table. I mean, all of these things, and if it works for somebody, and then for a lot of people, and then even for people whose job it is to find holes in it.
Yeah.
If it works for all of those folks, it's a big relief.
So when you're on set for 14 hours a day and you literally are working all 14, you get a much bigger little bump from it. I do at least. Writing. I'm always been way more proud of finishing a script than any other thing in my life because it's the worst.
Writing, I think, is perhaps even more difficult. Trying to fill a blank page. It was that story of Mel Brooks with Anne Bancroft, and Mel Brooks comes home from shooting one day, and Anne Bancroft is on the couch, and she's just like exhausted. And he says, "Oh, it was a tough day at work, honey." And she goes, "Oh, Mel, acting's so hard." And he holds up a blank piece of paper, and he goes, "No," he says, "writing's hard." And it's really true. Like the amount of options that are available to you as a writer are literally endless. And to have to reduce those down into the best version of what idea you have takes so much discipline and work. I don't know how you do that.
Well, on the press junket for the judge, Robert Downey had the best saying I've ever heard, and it was one he got from his dad. He would regularly get asked, like, what did your dad teach you? And he said, I don't know, maybe the most valuable thing my dad ever taught me, having been in this business, was everybody can act, some people can direct, and nobody can write.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that pretty much sums up when I read scripts. I'm not even saying I'm one of the people that can write, but just that is a pretty, if you had to sum the whole industry up into 3 sentences, that's pretty good. Well, I'm super pumped for season 2.
Thank you.
I guess I'm not in it is my assumption because it seems like it's
Well,
coming
we'll-
out pretty soon.
Well, no, you don't remember on the set?
No. Did
So
you call me once?
You're
while you were
using
shooting?
again? But
I
you
bet.
were with us for a week.
Oh my goodness.
Dax.
Okay.
All right.
Jason Bateman, I love you so much. I'm
Love
really
you.
grateful that you came down and talked to me. Watch the new episode of Ozarks. It's right around the corner, right? When is it? When does it come out?
August 31st.
August 31st.
Oh, I have a quick question about your idiosyncrasies. So
Mm-hmm.
you are probably not a fan of shoes on the couch.
Great question.
No, but it
Okay.
depends on what part of the couch. If it's a part of the couch where I could possibly where my head could end up.
Uh-huh.
So like where you're sitting right now on the couch, if the shoe was up there on the arm,
yeah,
I would be uncomfortable.
you wouldn't like that.
Because there's a chance that I could be getting all cozy and kind of turn over to watch the TV on my side, and my nose could get right next to residue of dog shit
Mhm.
or something, and it would just destroy my month.
Can you do you know off the top of your head what the worst thing for you to be on that armrest is? Do you have a number one enemy number one? Would it be dog shit? I mean, human shit obviously would be much worse, right? Canine fecal would be preferred, wouldn't it?
You know what I don't like is cat piss
Oh.
is
Ew,
up
that's
there.
disgusting,
That's why there's
yeah.
a new floor right here.
Oh, really?
I knew I was tearing this place down, but I'm like, I can't work. The guy had cats and they peed on the previous floor.
One of my top smells that really turn me is stuff that's been left in the dryer or in the washing
Oh,
machine.
moldy.
So, yeah, that mildewy kind of like hockey gear.
What was that? It was the Cabo smell in the hotel.
That
Yeah.
probably was the smell.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's your number
Some
one
sort of
offender.
active growing something.
Mold.
Fun
yeah.
guy.
Yeah, hockey. I'd never ever be able to play hockey. When
they're
those guys get
pads.
into those scrums and like 8 or 10 of them, they get all huggy and they're all sweaty. And the cops, what are the refs, the umps? They come in and they
Yeah,
start,
the cops.
There's like 20 seconds there where they're all still locked. They're still kind of jawing at each other, and the gloves are up in each other's faces, and they're kind of smiling at each other, kind of shitty. The game in there in that hot huddle.
Yeah, a lot of sweat. They sweat too. They sweat. It's not the knocked out teeth that scares you. It's the getting a big whiff of the goalie's glove.
Yeah, I'd go ahead and put myself on the bench.
I'd take yourself out of the game.
I'd fake an injury.
All right, I love you. Watch Ozarks. I certainly will be the second it comes out. Jason Bateman, thank you.
Love you, Dax.
And now my favorite part of the show, the fact check with my soulmate, Monica Bateman. Check all your facts. Checking all your facts. I really want Writers on the Storm to work with either our products or the fact check, and it's just not mapping on conveniently for me.
It's okay.
That's all right.
Can't all be winners.
No, they can't all be ZipRecruiter.
This was a winner, though. They're all winners, actually. They can't all be winners.
They can't all be winners, and none of them are losers. How about that?
Okay, I'll give you that.
That's a glass quarter full for you.
I wish your glass was. I'm sending you mixed signals because I was about to tell you that I wish your glass would be all the way full
All
to
the
the
time.
tippy top all the time.
Runneth over.
But I also
You like
advised
to see me
you
humble.
not to strut. So
Also, you took great pleasure in watching me lose a game of Scrabble, didn't you, on our vacation?
You did not like that.
Well, yeah, this was weird that my buddy was rooting against me. I understand why. Molly, our friend Molly, won. I'm actually happy she won too.
Mm-hmm.
She deserves the win. She's a much better person than me.
She's a lovely girl.
She's a
Really
full-blown woman. I don't want anyone to walk away thinking a child beat me in Scrabble. No, she's a fully functioning woman, adult.
Yeah.
And
beautiful and smart.
very beautiful, very beautiful. My buddy Eric's wife. I can't tell. Eric, your wife's so hot.
She is. She is incredibly
She's
stunning.
smoking hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Built like a brick shit house too. Is that still a compliment?
No, I don't
It's
know what
not.
that means, and I don't like any of the words in there.
Okay. Then I strike that. I strike it. Okay.
Okay. Um,
Oh, can I tell one quick thing? Because it kind of came up when we were just in Austin, as we were bragging about in the intro. And I one time went tubing down the Guadalupe River 15 years ago there in Austin, and I was on the banks of the river with my then girlfriend Bree, and a dude came up to her, and he was in the middle of lighting a cigarette, and he just looked at her up and down, and he goes, "God damn, girl, you got all the right shit."
yeah.
And then he just kept it moving. He wasn't hitting on her. And she loved it. I thought it was great. I mean, normally that would trigger me, like, "What are you moving in on my gal?" But I had to respect the compliment. It was offensive.
A pure compliment.
It was a pure compliment, and on the surface, very offensive. But really, I would love to be told I had all the right shit.
I don't think it's offensive. I wouldn't have found it offensive.
Okay, good.
But you know what I would have found offensive? If someone walked by and said, "Girl, you're built like a brick shit house."
Oh,
I'd be like,
okay.
"Fuck you."
I'm surprised you even remembered what I said.
I have a very good memory, remember?
Oh, brag number
you
one.
You have a terrible memory.
Brag number
you
one.
You lead me into these brags.
I do. They're traps. Yeah, they're
It's
Ponzi
not.
pits I build for you to fall into, and then I laugh hysterically.
Wait, I want to go back to Scrabble, okay?
Okay.
Because now I seem like a terrible person.
No, I think they get it.
Well, I feel like one. I felt like one after that because you were upset with me a little
Well,
bit.
I was a little hurt. Yeah.
And I don't like to hurt your feelings. It makes me feel. It makes me.
I
sad.
expect you to be excited when I lose that game, but just maybe not vocally.
But see, that's the to me, that's the opposite. If I was like internally like, "Oh my God, I'm so happy he lost," like that's disgusting.
that
that's
feels
bad.
more.
If I'm just like rooting on a gal pal.
Yeah, that's built like a brick shit house.
Don't say that. But if I'm just rooting her on because, look, no one can beat you at this, as was said in this episode.
Well,
actually, surprisingly, Bateman said it.
Bateman did say it, but Kimmel did destroy me at my own birthday party and then fucked up my coffee maker.
Oh.
It was a real 1, 2, 3 punch for me.
But generally speaking, you're incredibly good at that game, and you're the one to beat always.
I was also assisting during that game, if you recall. I was trying to point out to people my strategy, which is you do not approach that game as a word game. You approach it as a math game.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep. But Molly...
So I was being generous. It's not like I was being a smug about it.
No, you weren't. You weren't being smug
but
about it.
She won.
She won, and she's experienced. She said she's been playing her whole life.
Yep.
And
I just started the game 6 months ago.
No.
No.
No, you didn't. But
she did win.
I feel...
And on the last move, it was very dramatic.
It was. She won by like a point or two.
And it was because they play where you subtract your tiles from your total.
I play that way too. And
I play that you subtract them. I don't think I had ever played that you add everyone's up. So she subtracted. Look, I'm not trying to minimize her victory. It was hard fought.
It was deserved.
Because I came out of the goddamn gates with a 7-letter, a bingo, which is hard to recover from. So all the more credit to her house that is built out of bricks.
She did a
where
great
people can go to
job.
shit.
I don't understand what could possibly be. What is?
Well,
how
because
is
I
that a
think, well, first of all,
compliment?
shit house, I think, is an outhouse. Okay, so back in the day, before people had indoor plumbing, my grandparents had an outhouse in Livonia, Michigan, and it's made generally of wood. It's just like flimsily made.
Right.
People can pick it up and move it behind the hole, which is what my grandpa would do with his brother to their third brother.
Okay,
And then
it's
the
not
person
getting
falls in a
better.
pit of shit on their way in the middle of the night to use the bathroom. So a brick shit house is very well constructed. It harkens back to the Three Little Pigs, Monica.
It's the
It's
best.
a well built.
I see.
And what I'm saying is Molly is well built,
Yeah.
like a brick shit house. You're a brick shit house.
So
We like black now. Always.
I think Molly listens to this, and
If she's anything like me, she'll blow right by the words used and just focus in on the sentiment.
we can't assume that she's anything like you.
We can't, but we can in this case. This also came up when we were in Texas, which is, and I think I differed from some of you in the group when we were talking about it, is that you could say anything about me, and if you end it with, and I'd love to fuck that guy, I'm good. If you're like, oh my God, that Dax Shepard's such a blowhard, I'd love to fuck that guy, I'm in. Or that Dax, what a disgusting nose. I'd love to fuck him. I go, oh, well, that disgusting nose is turning
Turn
you
on.
on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it just negates anything you could say about me.
Yeah, I don't.
You don't feel that way.
I don't feel that way at all.
It goes to priorities and how
Correct.
people want to be seen.
Yes.
I just want to be hot.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. You don't? Isn't that high up there? Don't you want to be seen as hot and sexy?
I don't think
Not at the
hot is the
expense.
word. I want to be attractive, but not
Oh,
hot.
fucking tomato.
No, it's not. It's
not?
not the same thing.
Okay.
I don't think. Like there are plenty of people who I think are so hot, and I have no attraction.
You're
to
not
them.
attracted to them in a groinal capacity,
in any
but especially in your groin. It's not being tugged
in my
towards
groin,
that person.
in my brain,
Mhm.
in my
Your
heart, in my mouth.
in your heart.
Anyway, so it's different, and I don't want to be someone that people just want to fuck.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I hurt your feelings.
Oh,
that
that's
day.
okay. That's okay. I brought it up to you. I was vulnerable and admitted it, and then you apologized, and I appreciate it. And what's so funny is now I don't even think I'd mind if you did it, just because we went through it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that again.
Oh,
I learned my
okay.
lesson. Okay, let's start. Let's
Mhm.
begin.
Okay.
There aren't very many. Which is, they're getting less and less factual, which is not
Is that
good.
concerning, or is that maybe a sign in the right direction?
It probably means you're evolving, but it's not as fun for me.
Okay.
So,
I'll try to throw more out as we go.
okay. The Lucifer's Pizza, the accent you did,
I didn't do a good job.
no, it was fine.
Okay.
It was a good job.
His face had that look of embarrassment. And after we had that conversation, I've since seen a couple of people also do accents that they didn't pull up. There's something uniquely embarrassing about going for an accent and then you don't nail
That's
it.
why I never do
You
accents.
never. I know.
I
I've
will only-
never heard you
You'll
do
never
one.
hear me do one ever, any kind,
It's so
for
risky.
that reason.
It is really risky. It's uniquely humiliating.
Yep. But you were doing a Lucifer's Pizza ad, which is a pizza place here in Los Angeles. They have a few locations.
For all Melrose
Yep.
location, press 1. For all Hill Hills location, press 2.
There's a Melrose location and a Hillhurst. They have a new location
And
too.
then the Hollywood, man.
Yeah.
For all Sunset location, press 3.
Yeah. And they speak in an Australian accent.
Or so I have
deduced.
surmised, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling Lucifer's Pizza. We now have 3 locations. For all Melrose location, press 1. For all Hill Hills location, I can't even get through Hill
I
Hills.
think it's because
I bottom out.
people's faces are so
Uh-huh.
distorted. So it's hard to look at someone when they're doing that.
It is.
Anyway, oh man.
Mm.
I wrote down here to get your silver spoons essay and I didn't.
Oh shit. Well, we can read it on a future ep.
All right. Before I forget, the in the intro you referred to Jason's show as Ozark.
I pluralized it.
Yep, and it's just Ozark.
Which I think is a very Michigan thing.
Singular. Well, we also had this.
Oh yeah, you were guilty of this in Texas. Not again, geez, we're like won't stop talking about band camp.
I know.
But we wanted a Crystal Burger really bad. We thought that we would see a Crystal Burger, and in fact, we
Texas.
went to a Sonic, and I thought we were going to Crystal, and then when we got to the drive-thru, I said repeatedly, I thought this was Crystal, but you thought it was Crystals.
Yes, I call it Crystals because I'm from Georgia, and where they're the home of the Crystal Burger,
Mm-hmm.
and I've always called it Crystals my whole life. And then we got onto the topic of what do you pluralize and is it regional and yeah.
Well, it seems to me that in Michigan we pluralize everything. You say Kmart's. My dad used to say I'm going to Kmart's. I work for Ford's.
Right. That's all strange.
Yeah, my best friend Aaron Weekly thought it was O'Reilly's Auto Part.
I still stand by that. That is
No,
it
it's
is
O'Reilly.
No.
O'Reilly. No. No, it's definitely O'Reilly because I had to prove it to Aaron. He was hellbent on the fact that it was O'Reilly's, and then we looked up the commercial and then we drove by one. No S. It's double confirmation, double blind test.
I'm gonna have to look into it on my own.
O'Reilly.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
No.
Anyway, okay, so the dodgeball director, he did do some Reebok commercials with Terry Tate, and they were office linebacker commercials. So they were like really popular, where he was the office linebacker, where he would sort of come in and tackle the annoying guy in the office.
But yeah, they were hysterical, and I remember that he would tackle somebody into like the mail cart.
2002.
Yeah,
they were funny. I watched them today.
What if O'Reilly's commercial was a guy clearing his throat and he went, O'Reilly? It probably wouldn't be as popular.
That wouldn't, or it would be more. It'd be memorable.
O'Reilly.
It's so it sounds so scratchy when you do it.
It does.
Yeah, like there's something in there.
O'Reilly. O'Reilly.
That's
And then it just gets the deeper you clear your throat, the higher the O'Reilly is. O'Reilly. The guy has no voice left.
Oh boy. Okay. Queen's Day in Amsterdam is now King's Day.
What?
I know, they did the opposite of what
you would think they would do.
Yeah. They got less progressive. No, King's Day is a national holiday in the Netherlands, celebrated on April 27th or April 26th if the 27th is a Sunday.
What's it commemorating?
The date marks the birth of King Willem-Alexander. Until the abdication of Queen Beatrix in 2013, the holiday was known as Queen's Day and celebrated on April 30th. So I guess she got
Her own holiday.
dethroned,
Oh,
and then it became King's Day.
this is very weird.
That's what
I think the
happened.
broader point was it's where you go to get fucked up.
Yes,
right?
it's a full party.
Like our Mardi Gras.
It is, yeah.
It's the Dutch Mardi Gras.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just talk really quick about Holland, Netherlands, Dutch, Amsterdam. It's so confusing. If I can
many.
just go on a little bit of a geography tear right now.
Do it.
The Netherlands, I guess that just means the lowlands.
I think that's the general area. Yeah.
But Holland is where Amsterdam is. And if you're from Holland, you're not Hollish. You're Dutch. But it doesn't even resemble the root word of Holland. It's all very confusing. Someone will break it down for me
They
on
will.
Twitter.
They sure will.
But yeah, there's a lot there. Because I don't know that people, when they realize when they're going to Amsterdam, they're going to Holland and they're going to the Netherlands and they're going to hang with Dutch people.
But is Holland
Where the windmills are, yeah, and the tulips and Van Gogh.
But is that is that a wider space or a smaller space?
In the Netherlands?
Yeah.
Maybe the Netherlands include Belgium or something. Mm-hmm. You're not buying this.
I don't know.
It seems like they might. There's a bunch of tiny little countries there. But that does remind me of the song that I used to sing to Lincoln, remember, because she was the Duchess of Holland.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was Dingus von Pringus, the Duchess of Holland, tulips and Van Gogh, them bridges and hashish, windmills and it was just listing anything you could think of about Holland.
Did you make it up?
Yeah. Well, with the assistance of Joy Bryant.
Oh.
Yeah, we used to sing it on the set of Parenthood all the time.
Oh, that's
Dingus von Pringus, the Duchess of Holland.
So then is Netherlands the country?
Yeah, I think when people talk about the Netherlands, they're talking about Holland. But again, they might be talking about Belgium. Is it even
Or are
Belgium?
they talking of, yeah.
Belgium's a weird one, too, because it's Belgium is the country.
Yeah.
Right?
Belgium.
Yeah, Bruges is in Belgium.
Yeah.
And the people are Belgians. So there's really
They're
no...
Belgian.
They're Belgian.
Yeah.
Which is, I am 25% Belgian, and you would think I would know that.
Yeah,
My grandma
Belgian.
Midge is 100% Belgian.
Yeah.
It's not Belgium?
Nope.
We're gonna circle back on this Netherlands thing. It
So
has to
Holland
include...
is probably the new word for Netherlands.
Okay.
Okay.
That holds.
And then we figured it out.
I'd like to rename Belgium while we're at it.
To what?
Belgiumy or
What?
Belgania. Something that sounds,
Ew.
it already sounds like the name of the people that live there, Belgium.
Because you don't like that it's so close. Belgian and Belgium.
Yeah.
Well, Indian and India.
But they've added an N. They didn't change an M for an N. That's bonkers. You already had an M.
What were they gonna do? Call it?
Oh, Rob's gonna
Belgianese?
pee on our party. What is it?
So Holland is
Oh
not
wow,
the
so
country.
is not the country. Netherlands is the country. Holland's a province within Netherlands, and Amsterdam's a city within Holland.
Oh,
This is like one of those damn Russian dolls.
Wow.
You just keep pulling off the top, and there's another area inside.
It's true.
You know how frustrating this whole conversation would be to listen to if you were either a geography major or just maybe even had a fifth grader's understanding of
Knowledge.
geography, or even worse, sitting in Amsterdam somehow at a hashish hostel listening to this. Like, guys, it's so simple.
Just get it together.
Yeah, you get it. You live in California, right? That's different from United States of America, as is Los Angeles.
I know, but we thought Holland was the Netherlands.
Yeah, it was synonymous with Netherlands.
We didn't know.
Well, we learned
We
something.
can't know everything.
Mm.
So I just wanted to remind people that the reason I asked Jason if it made him disgusted to have shoes on the couch is because I get in trouble for having shoes on the couch here.
You're very naughty with the shoes on the couch.
Yeah. And now I just lean
You currently
in.
have a shoe on the couch.
I do.
Exactly where he was sitting, saying he would hate to see a shoe placed there one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're getting the last laugh.
I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's it?
Oh, one more thing.
Mm.
And this is where I leave you. He said that he walked in on you and he thought his line was happy birthday, but I rented the movie.
No, you didn't.
I had to because I couldn't find this part on YouTube.
Okay.
So I had to rent it. And he actually comes in and says, "Hey, would now be a good time to go over those numbers?"
Oh, referencing me earlier in the day wanting to go over some numbers.
Correct.
You know, you can expense report that rental.
I'm not gonna.
I will absorb the cost of that. I'm going to see to it you're reimbursed for that
No.
rental.
Absolutely not.
Did you go through the whole movie?
No, because that was only the first 1 minute into the movie
Right.
locally for me.
And you don't, did you see my anus?
Of course.
You did, well, you did you? I didn't see carefully.
I saw it.
My anus?
I saw the whole thing.
No.
I saw up your butthole.
No. That's my worst nightmare. Were you thinking though when that scene started, like, were you looking for anus?
Let me tell
Knowing
you what
I was
happened,
afraid
okay?
of it? Okay.
I had rented it this morning
Okay.
and I started it, and as your butt was appearing, your
Okay.
wife walks by behind me.
Okay.
And it
sure.
seemed like I was
Just checking out
just
some.
watching your butt
Uh-huh.
in the middle of the workday.
Yeah, but she probably didn't even notice it as my butt, did she?
No, she did.
Oh, she did.
Yeah. She knew what it was.
And then you had to go on some long explanation of why you're
Yeah.
doing it. Did you feel like she bought it?
No. I don't. I
That's
think she's going to have a talking to with me later.
That is a bonkers scenario to happen.
I did. I was like, I'm not just watching a movie. She said, no, I don't care. She doesn't care. She lets me run amok.
Mm-hmm. But more specifically, I'm not just watching a movie of
I
your
know.
husband's bare butt.
I actually think I said, I'm not just watching a movie, and then your butt appeared.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you were watching it on the television
No,
screen?
on my small computer,
Oh,
like I was hoarding it too.
Well, then it's on her. She was really in your personal space.
Well, I was in her house.
Well, okay. Well, that does trump it all in her brick shit house. Well, Monica, I just love you, and I thank you for those. Scant as they may have been, I found them enjoyable to hear.
We really did learn something today about Holland and the Netherlands.
That's true. Unexpected.
Yeah.
Good night.